Welcome everyone back here to Weather on the Go, and a very rare circumstance here today. We have a very rare G5 geomagnetic storm that is actually going to provide much of the United States with the northern lights today. So thanks for joining, everybody. If you are here, make sure to press the like button down below. And yeah, it's very rare that we do see the northern lights in the northern U.S., but today we're actually likely, or tonight, we're likely going to see the northern lights actually a little bit further south. So I think that areas across portions of like the southern tier of the United States and the southeastern United States is likely to see the solar storm, or like the northern lights like we saw last night. So basically what I'm going to be doing here in the live stream is answering your questions about what your weather forecast looks for tonight, and to see if you guys have clear skies to view the northern lights. That's why we went live here today. So again, if you are here, make sure to smash that like button. I definitely appreciate it. And subscribe here to the channel. Hey to Johnny, thanks for joining, and Razor, and Storm Predictions, Ben Collison, Kim, Steve Thompson, Super Gaming, thanks for joining. Yeah, we got a solar storm that is actually a G5, a very rare G5. It actually is probably the strongest geomagnetic storm that is impacting Earth since the early 2000s. So if you didn't get a chance to see the the northern lights last night, you do have a chance to see them tonight across the majority of the United States here, especially in clearer conditions across the upper Midwest. I think some of the areas up here to the upper Midwest, parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, and Iowa, and northern Illinois, you guys have a fantastic chance to see the northern lights here, as you are in the northern part of the United States, for one, and for two, you're going to have a lot of clearer skies up there. So if you live in Minneapolis, up here into the Sioux Falls region, into Green Bay, Milwaukee, or Chicago, even Des Moines, you guys have a great opportunity to see the northern lights here today. And this is basically what we're showing you right now is the lower level water vapor imagery. And this is just showing you where the moisture is in the atmosphere. Typically where there's moisture, there's actually cloud cover. So you can see where the cloud cover is not, is where we have the bright orange. So a lot of the southeast seeing a lot of warmer temperatures today. We have a lot of clearer skies out here today. And that is leading to the potential for us to see the northern lights further south and east today. So very interesting that is. Let's see here. Kevin, thanks for joining. And Douglas, Trisha, and Joey. Who else is in here? Kathy L. Brighton. Will Missouri be able to see it good? Yes, I think Missouri has a great chance. Let's actually look here at the latest HRRR model, and you can show, and I can show you this here with the precipitation, okay? And you can see the cloud cover with it today. So this is the 18Z HRRR model, and this basically is going to show you as we go through tonight here. Look at that, Missouri, absolutely clear skies there for the entire state. So if you live into Kansas City, Jefferson City to Springfield, St. Louis, all you folks here in the state of Missouri here, including the Ozarks region, will have a fantastic opportunity to witness the northern lights tonight. So make sure to go out of city. The city limits is probably your best chance to see the northern lights. So if you're like in St. Louis Metro, you might want to go outside of St. Louis. If you're in Kansas City Metro, you might want to go outside of Kansas City to view the northern lights there. So yeah, absolutely. A fantastic opportunity there in the state of Missouri. That is for sure. Let's see here. We got more people joining. Thanks for joining, everybody. Make sure if you are here to like the live stream, subscribe to my channel. Not only are we talking about the geomagnetic storm that's very rare, a G5 that is impacting the United States, that a lot of people will be witnessing again tonight, the northern lights like we saw last night, even parts of North Carolina, parts of Texas, outside of city limits saw the northern lights last night. I think that is a very good opportunity for those folks again further south to see it. So definitely a very good viewing point for those areas. Yeah, there is a tornado warning in Ohio. That's just radar indicated. It's not on the ground, so we're okay there, folks. Yeah, thank you for answering our questions. We appreciate you always keeping us updated. Absolutely, Trisha. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Thanks for joining. What about Lima, Ohio? I think Ohio, let's see here. As we go into tonight, I think Ohio has a pretty good chance of seeing the lights here. There may be some clouds in the eastern part of the state, but if you're in like central, southern, or western Ohio, so from Toledo down to Mansfield, Columbus, Chillicothe, Cincinnati, and the Dayton area, I think you have a pretty good chance to see the northern lights tonight. If you are in most of the state of Ohio, I would say about 60% of the state will probably have a great chance to view it. I think if you're up here to the east, across Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown, the Canton area, you may have some lingering cloud cover overnight tonight that may hinder some of the viewing for that northern lights. But I do think that if you live in western Ohio, from, like I said, Toledo down there to Columbus, Mansfield, Bellefontaine, there down to Dayton, into the Hamilton area, Cincinnati, Chillicothe, Georgetown, all you folks down here will likely see the northern lights tonight. Again, outside of city limits is where you're going to probably have the most likely chance to see those northern lights. Thank you everybody for joining. I really do appreciate it. Smash that like button if you're in here. I definitely appreciate that. Florida, yes, I think northern Florida has a decent chance to see it, actually, because it's a G5. It's a rare extreme solar storm that I think northern Florida will actually see it. Yes, there is a very possible chance that Florida could see it. Now, you are very far south, but I will say, with it being a G5, like I said, it's an extremely rare circumstance that Florida can see the northern lights, but with it being such a strong geomagnetic storm, I think that Jacksonville, Apalachicola, the Panama City area, the Big Bend area here of Florida, Tallahassee, Pensacola here, even the Crestview, Destin area, I think you guys have a great opportunity to see it. Maybe even the Gainesville area as well. So very possible. Again, you want to go outside of city limits to see this, even in Florida. I think the chances are very possible there. There is some cloud cover that is worrisome there for the areas maybe in the far northwestern panhandle of Florida, up here into portions of Crestview, Destin, and Pensacola. We'll have to wait and see. There's a possibility that that cloud cover overnight could hinder some of that. Same thing over here to like the Arklatex region. So if you're from like Memphis down to Jackson, Dallas, Fort Worth, I know a lot of areas down there actually saw the northern lights last night. If you are down there, I think there is a chance you could see it depending on the cloud cover. It's going to be pretty scattered about overnight tonight, but I do think if you are in those areas, you may have to dodge some cloud cover. So it's possible you could see it down here. I think your best bet to see it is maybe Memphis out of all the cities I just mentioned. So between Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Monroe, Louisiana, Texarkana, and Dallas-Fort Worth, I think your best opportunity to see it would be Memphis. You're closer to the high pressure system outside of those, the cloud cover mostly in Memphis. There may be a few clouds that try to sneak in overnight, but I think most of Memphis area there into western Tennessee should be pretty clear as we go through tonight to see the northern lights. Leslie is asking about Indiana. Yes, I think in Indiana, you guys should be clear tonight for most of the state. I'd say 99-100% of you folks should see that. From South Bend to the Fort Wayne area, Muncie, Lafayette, Terre Haute, Indianapolis, Bloomington, all the way down to Evansville, Louisville even, you guys into Kentucky, you guys will likely see the northern lights tonight, again, outside of city limits, so you guys have very good clearing overnight tonight with that high pressure system in place, so a very good opportunity to see the northern lights there, even in the state of Indiana, the Hoosier state there, so that's definitely some good news if you want to go out and view that later on tonight. 30 minutes outside of Rockford, Illinois here. Will we be good? Yes, Rockford, Illinois. I'm expecting mostly clear skies up here in northern Illinois later on, the Highway 20, I-39 corridor. Yes, you guys are actually going to see a very good... I know it was very cloudy last night into the Rockford area in Illinois because I do live west of Chicago myself, and I was actually trying to view them last night outside of city limits west of Chicago. and I was not able to because of some of the cloud cover, and I think it was too late. But I do think tonight would be your best night to see that into the Rockford area. Obviously, you don't want to be inside city limits of Rockford. You want to head out here to the west, maybe toward Winnebago, the Pecatonica area, or maybe even further south towards like the Byron, Illinois area to kind of see some of those northern lights, or even east of Rockford's towards like Marengo. I know the Poplar Grove, Harvard area is very rural areas out here outside of town, outside of the city limits. So you want to probably go either east towards Poplar Grove and Harvard, or you want to go southwest toward Byron, or west of Rockford toward Pecatonica and Winnebago to probably witness some of the northern lights if that were to occur later on tonight. And even though it's clear, folks, there are some factors with this too that actually could limit the viewing of the northern lights, if you will, because I think it's kind of like severe weather in a way, if you think about it. There's got to be a lot of ingredients that come together for the viewing of the northern lights. Like you have to have clear skies. That's basically, 101. That's what you need, right? So, and then after that, you really just kind of need just literally to be outside of city limits. Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 3 basically is that you got to look north. Otherwise, you're not going to see the northern lights, right? It's called the northern lights because you're looking north. If you look west, you look east, you look south, you're not going to see it. So you're looking north. So 3 things: clear skies, get outside of city limits, and look north. That is the basic 101 of looking at the northern lights. There are other things that could hinder that as well. If there's cloud cover upstream in like Canada and stuff, that could actually kind of hinder some of that. If our friends up here in Canada may want to see them as well. The further north you go, the better. The further south you go, typically the worse chances because you're further south. But actually though, if you guys are just joining, the solar storm is so strong. It's a G5, right? It's an extreme solar storm. It is strong enough to where areas in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North Florida could actually see this. And actually last night, I believe, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw somebody posting a picture of the northern lights from northern Mexico, folks. So yes, I do think that if you do live in North Florida, that you do have a great chance to see the northern lights tonight. I definitely think that because it's going to be clearer out there. But I think, like I said, the worrisome areas for cloud cover would be Pensacola, Panama City, Apalachicola area, and then up here toward Destin, I think, and then Crestview. I think you guys have the, a 50-50 chance of seeing it because you are in Florida, but also because there's cloud cover. I think it may be partly cloudy in some of those areas tonight. So that actually may hinder some of the viewing there. But I think if you live further east towards Gainesville, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, or Jacksonville Beach, again, outside of city limits, you have a fantastic chance to see it if you are in North Florida. Compared to previous years, I know a lot of the state of Florida, you usually never get to see the northern lights because the geomagnetic storm is usually not this strong. But this year tonight I'm expecting it to be pretty strong for that viewing there. Do you need to worry about power outages tonight? There always is talk about, whether or not it's strong enough to create power outages. I do think there is a chance of that across the U.S., but I don't think the chances are overly high. I think even though it's a it's a G5, it's an extreme geomagnetic storm that is occurring on the surface of the sun and stuff like that. I really don't think that it will be strong enough to create, widespread power outages. But I do think at some instances, whether that's here in the United States or whether that's across the other half of the world and say Europe or Canada or, Spain or something like that, there may be some other places besides the U.S. that see that problem as well. I think it's going to be sporadic power outages, potentially at worst case scenario. I don't foresee, widespread blackouts or anything like that, even with a G5. I don't think that is going to occur. But I definitely think it could interrupt some, communications on Earth, like radios, maybe cell phone communication a little bit for a time. And it's going to be temporary as well. So it's not going to be widespread chaos or anything like that. We're just talking about, radio frequencies being affected here and there for maybe a couple of hours. And then, your cell phone, usage, like phone calls, texting, stuff like that may be interrupted for a couple of hours as well. It's just one of those things. It's not anything that's permanent or anything like that. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that for sure. But if you're worried about that, I don't see that. Well, Eastern Tennessee, I think, yes, Eastern Tennessee, you have a pretty good chance of seeing that. Actually, let me look here. I believe if you're like in the Knoxville, Tennessee region, I think you have a pretty decent chance of seeing the northern lights as we go through tonight. I think looks like the skies tonight should start off partly cloudy in the Knoxville area, but then as we go deeper into the evening and overnight hours, the skies should clear. So there's a little bit of cloud cover, some stratus out there this afternoon, stratus clouds. I think those should clear out with the the stabilizing of the atmosphere and stuff like that. I think that's going to be able to basically give way to clear skies. So once the sun goes down, the atmosphere will stabilize and we'll get rid of some of those clouds in eastern Tennessee, and that could give way to some clearing there. And even the Nashville region, you don't want to be viewing it from the city, obviously. So best viewing spots for Nashville, I would say go up here to the northeast toward Hendersonville or Gallatin, but outside of those areas, the city limits of those cities as well. But I think it's very hilly and mountainous there in middle and eastern Tennessee with the Cumberland Plateau, with the Smoky Mountains and stuff like that. Areas further east like Cookeville, Crossville, over here to Harriman and Knoxville. Best viewing spots over here, I would say probably the outside of Clinton and further north towards the La Follette area. A lot of hilly terrain out here. You guys could probably see it outside of city limits and stuff like that. So if you live over here, pretty good viewing. Should be mostly clear skies. Western Tennessee, Clarksville, back to Jackson, Mississippi, or Jackson, Tennessee rather. Dyersburg, Union City, Paris, back here to Memphis. The Memphis area could start off with partly to mostly cloudy skies. We may actually kind of clear out pretty quickly though this evening as the atmosphere stabilizes, which will give way to mostly clear skies, similar to Eastern Tennessee. So the best viewing spot here in Memphis, head up toward Covington or Brownsville, or move west into Arkansas, into the Forest City, Wynn area. Down I-40 there and off of I-40, you probably have a very good viewing spot looking north there. I would say your best bet, though, if you're in Memphis, to avoid cloud cover, go east, okay? So go east towards either Bolivar, Savannah, Henderson, towards Brownsville or Covington. If you go into the Arkansas side, you may still see it, but I think if you're going west from Memphis, outside of the city, it may actually lead to a situation where you may run into a lot more cloud cover over there. So if you're heading towards like Forest City, Wynn, or even the Little Rock area, you may actually see some clouds with that. More of like a partly cloudy sky overnight tonight. But if you go east towards Jackson, Tennessee, up toward Dyersburg there, and into some of those rural areas of western Tennessee and looking north, you guys should have a pretty clear viewing there if you move east of Memphis. So what we're doing here is we're live. We're giving you guys kind of a synopsis of what to expect with like the viewing, the good viewing areas. So if you have a certain city that you live in and you want to know the weather forecast for it and how much cloud cover you can expect and everything, I'll continue to answer questions on here, and we'll give you the answers that you need to know where the best viewing spots will be in relative to where the cloud cover is. So like I'm doing here in Memphis, like if you go west, you see the clouds over here. I don't think that's going to be that great of viewing. Maybe still some partly cloudy skies. You may still be able to see it, but mostly clear there in western Tennessee. Again, thanks everybody for joining. Hope everybody, by the way, is having a great weekend out there. Thanks so much for joining again. I am Hunter. My name is Hunter here. I live in Northern Illinois. I used to live in Naples, Florida. I moved north here in towards areas west of Chicago. I live in Northern Illinois now. I'm 23 years old. And we are doing weather forecasts mainly on this channel. But today we're doing a live rare coverage of the G5 extreme geomagnetic storm that is occurring on Earth, basically impacting Earth today and tonight. So we're going to answer more of your questions here. All right. How is southeastern Massachusetts looking? So let's go over here to southeastern Massachusetts. I think southeastern Massachusetts is kind of tricky here. Like, I don't. What do you mean by southeastern Massachusetts? Are you talking about like the New Bedford area? Cape Cod in particular may have a better viewing area there. And if you're in Boston, I would say go north toward Lowell, up here towards Lawrence, the Newburyport area, or near the coast over here toward Gloucester. I don't know how to pronounce this very good, but Gloucester. If anybody knows how to pronounce that, just correct me in the chat. But I think this is Gloucester or Gloucester. Into areas north and east of Boston. Obviously, you don't want to be in downtown city limits. I think western Massachusetts, you probably won't see it because of the rainfall coming in. This is overnight, and probably also some cloud cover working in. But let me look for sure to see what Boston is likely to see here. I think the Boston area might have some cloud cover. So let me look real quick on this real quick. So, if you're in southeastern Massachusetts, okay, so what are we seeing here for Boston? So it looks like for Boston, early cloud cover will be partly cloudy. Later in the evening, we're trending cloudy. So I would say probably not very good viewing there in the Boston area. Let's look down here towards Cape Cod. The Cape Cod area, I think, is going to also be very similar, I think. Let's see here. Let's look at the Provincetown or Yarmouth area. So let's look at Yarmouth, Massachusetts, and hopefully, again, I'm pronouncing your city correctly. I apologize if I am not. Yeah, probably not. I think most of Massachusetts actually looks pretty cloudy as we go into tonight. So you may not have very good viewing. Maybe up here for a time into the Provincetown area, but I think that if you're in Boston, west toward Worcester, over here into Springfield, Pittsfield, those areas, probably pretty cloudy as we go through the night tonight. So kind of hit and miss there. Will Atlanta see it? Let's go down here to Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia is pretty far south, but again, with the G5 extreme geomagnetic storm, I do think Atlanta would be able to see it. Let me look at the forecast here for the Atlanta metro area. Again, you don't want to be inside city limits, though. So you want to go outside Memphis, or outside Atlanta, rather. Mostly clear skies tonight in Atlanta. So great news there. So I would say really any radius outside of Atlanta is probably pretty good. I would go over here towards, so if you're in the Atlanta metro, I would head towards Conyers or Covington, kind of outside the city limits. Or if you go west, go toward Bremen or Cedartown. That would probably be your best bet to see the northern lights there. Or just go north. If you live on the northern side of the metro, up here into like Sandy Springs, Brookhaven, or Roswell, go north towards Calhoun, the Canton area, or Cartersville. Again, you don't want to be inside those cities. You want to be outside of the cities, but I do think that would be your best bet. If you're northeast side of the metro, I would go up here past Lawrenceburg toward Buford, or even take an exit off of 85 toward Jefferson up here. I know it's a little bit of a drive, an hour or so, but it's worth it, folks. I mean, this is a pretty rare occurrence. Doesn't happen very often. The last storm of this magnitude, the solar storm, was like early 2000s. I want to say like 2003 or 2005 or something like that. So it's a pretty rare occurrence, to say the least. Will Macon, Georgia see it? So down here in Macon, Georgia, it's possible you see it this far south. Again, it's more of a 50-50. It's one of those things where if you're in the deep south, it's hard to see it just in general because you're so far south to see the northern lights, regardless of it being clear. Like for the Atlanta area, that would be your best bet. It's worth a shot to at least go see it tonight. Even though you don't see it maybe tonight, it's worth a shot to at least just go try to see it. Because it's one of those rare things. If you're in the Macon, Georgia area, I would go up here towards, let's say, Gray or Milledgeville or Gordon. I think Gordon would be a good opportunity. Go west toward Forsyth, or just to the south and west toward Reynolds or Fort Valley. Those areas would be pretty good. Or even the Eatonton area. I think that would be pretty good as well. You don't want to be in downtown Macon and looking north and saying, well, I can't see it. Well, you probably can't because you're inside city limits. So let's see here. See any more questions in here. Yeah, but I think most of North Georgia will be pretty clear tonight to see that. So I'm not too concerned about Georgia seeing the northern lights right now, with at least the synoptics of the weather pattern, with it being mostly clear. The only thing I say is that, you are far south. You're in Georgia after all. It's one of those 50-50 things. You may see it, you may not see it. If you do see it, it's going to be a very awesome thing to see. I know people that saw it in eastern North Carolina that told me. I know people that saw it outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area last night. Even somebody, I believe, posted, like I said, if you haven't been here, on Twitter last night, or X, from northern Mexico, showed the northern lights that were purple and blue. It was very awesome. It was very awesome. Thank you so much, Dimitri, for the $4.99. I appreciate it. Will Toledo, Ohio see it? So let's go north to Toledo, Ohio here. Again, if you are in downtown Toledo, you're not going to see it. You're going to have to go outside city limits. But let's look here at the Toledo, Ohio area to see if we would see the northern lights there. I think that it's possible with you being pretty far north, but we have to look here at the overall weather pattern. Let's see here. Again, if you are here, make sure to smash that like button. We got 940 in here. We only have 200 likes, so make sure, if you are all in here, make sure all of you subscribe to my channel. We will be posting a new weather forecast video on this channel. I do cover southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics as well, and we're going to be posting a new video tomorrow morning, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this live stream, and again, smash that like button, folks. The more people who join. We'll answer everybody's questions here. It looks like mainly clear skies late this evening in Toledo, or early overnight, which early overnight means like after midnight. So if you're in Toledo, you won't see it. So you want to go north into Michigan, I would say toward Adrian or the Monroe area near the lake, or go southwest too. Go toward Waterville, Napoleon, or the Wauseon area. I think you guys would have a great opportunity outside of the Toledo region to see that if you do go south and west out of the city. Definitely a possibility for that as well. But yeah, mostly clear skies in Toledo, it looks like tonight. So, and we're looking at pretty breezy conditions early on, decreasing winds to 5 to 10. So if you're like trying to get out of your vehicle and, maybe sitting in the back of your truck or something like that, bring a jacket. I think low temperatures there in the mid 40s may make it a little chilly, with winds early on gusting over 20 miles an hour. But overall, mostly clear skies there. So you should be able, outside of city limits, to see that in the Toledo area. All right, let's see here. I saw the Northern Lights in the UK yesterday. Will we see another today? I think so. I think the UK should see that today again. It's another G5, one of the most rare extreme geomagnetic storms that we have seen, again, since the early 2000s. This is something that is like 20 years in the making, folks. So again, if you do have the best chance to see it, even if you don't see it, even if you go maybe an hour out of your way and you look north and you don't see it, it's worth a shot, folks. I promise you that. It's an awesome experience to go see the Northern Lights. I'm going to probably go do so myself tonight. So it really is. It's an amazing experience. So I definitely think you all should go at least try to see it. Let's see here. When can I see it in southern Illinois? Well, late evening, early overnight. So we're talking like after 10 o'clock and then around the midnight time frame is your best opportunity to see it. Where at in southern Illinois, if I may ask? So like Major, you asked about southern Illinois. Like I would say, for example, like if you're in Carbondale, go outside of Carbondale. Go up to the north here towards like Benton and then take an exit off 57 and just like, look north. Or if you're in Mount Vernon, go toward Fairfield or Flora or Salem and just take an exit and just look north. Just your best bet to be outside of city limits down here. For example, if you're in the St. Louis metro area, your best opportunity here would probably be to go down I-70 to the east towards Greenville or Vandalia, Illinois, and look north. I-55 up toward Hillsboro would work as well. If you go west of St. Louis towards the Wentzville or Troy area outside of the city limits, the further west you go down I-70 there into Missouri, the better. I think if you go past Troy a little bit and then take an exit or a couple of exits down there would work. Even if it's just an hour west of St. Louis, definitely a good opportunity to do that as well. And by the way, folks, we are actually on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to help out and trying to get me to that point, and I would definitely appreciate if all 1,200 of you would subscribe to the channel. Again, we do daily weather forecast videos, live streams for severe weather coverage, hurricane coverage, and winter weather coverage on this channel. So again, this is not just to talk about the solar storm. We just hopped on here to give you the best forecast possible to look at the solar storm. But if you do want a legitimately detailed, accurate weather forecast, you got it right here at Weather on the Go. We'll keep you covered. We cover southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics on this channel. So make sure you do go and sub up to the channel here. Let's see here. Thank you, Gamer, for $1.99. Will I be able to see it in Kansas City? Yeah, I believe so. Let me look here officially at the Kansas City forecast for you real quick. I do think that the Kansas City area could see it today because you are far enough even north to see it. And really most of the U.S. will have a chance to see it because, again, it is a G5. It is an extreme geomagnetic storm. So we're looking at, looks like mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. So give or take a few clouds that may roam through the Kansas City area. I do think that there is a fairly good chance that the Kansas City area would be able to see it. Obviously not downtown. So if you're in Kansas City, like the northern metro area of Kansas City, I would go towards Kearney or Lawson or even up here toward Polo, Missouri. This is off of I-35, just north and east of the metro. If you're on the northwest side of the metro, I would head up here towards the Platte City area on I-29 and then take an exit off of there and see it. If you're on the south side of the metro, I would go down here towards Lee's Summit or Belton on 49 and keep traveling down until you get to Archie or Garden City. Take an exit, look north. You guys will have a very good opportunity to see it as well, I believe, there. And like the southwest side, if you live in like Overland Park, Shawnee, or Olathe there, I would go further south and west down I-35 toward Gardner, Ottawa, or even the Centropolis area there into Kansas. I think you would have a good chance if you take one of those exits there if you live on the southwest side of the metro of Kansas City and look north. Okay, again, you want to go outside of city limits as far as you can, and you know, you want it to be as dark as possible so you can look north. You want to be outside of the city skyline and everything, and look north, and you guys should be able to see it. Again, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies there. Fairly nice weather conditions for a Saturday evening too. You may need a light jacket maybe if you get cold, if it's in the 50s, but I think low 60 temperatures around the metro area of Kansas City, give or take a few degrees, upper 50s, low 60s there for overnight lows. So I think it should be pretty good there. Let's see here. Coley, thanks for the $1.99. How is California looking in the San Francisco Bay Area? Again, California is pretty far south to see that, but I do think that the San Francisco area should be able to at least see something as well, especially if you did last night. So you're looking, your question was about the San Francisco Bay Area. So let's look here at the forecast for the San Francisco region and go from there. So let's look at San Francisco, California weather. And again, thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate it. We're going to answer the questions as we can. So it looks like mostly sunny skies today there in San Francisco, at least downtown. San Francisco, mostly sunny, 68. Lows tonight of 51, so pretty chilly. Windy as well. Wind southwest at 10 to 20, so you might want to bring a jacket there. Partly cloudy skies, so it's kind of a 50-50 chance of seeing it there in the Bay Area. If you do have the best chance of seeing it there, you know, you want to go out and at least try and see it. I would go, if you're in downtown San Francisco, all right, let's try and figure this out. Let's go further north towards Napa, like the Napa Valley area, or even further east. Go toward Tracy. Go toward Tracy over here. And again, San Francisco is kind of tough. There's a lot of big cities kind of surrounding San Francisco, like Stockton, Sacramento, and stuff like that. So it's kind of tough to say, but I would say go north toward the Napa Valley region. I believe that's called Napa Valley there, or go east toward Tracy and definitely could be able to see that. But even, again, don't go into the city of Tracy. Just take like maybe an exit off of 580 there, maybe toward Livermore, try to look north. But you're also going to be trying to look north over the skylight of Antioch and Brentwood. So very tough to say there. Again, 50-50 shot there, or just go north toward the Napa Valley, the Vacayville area, and look north. But again, Sacramento is kind of impeding that with maybe some of the skylights there. So it's kind of a hard situation to figure out there. But it looks like partly cloudy skies there in the San Francisco area ultimately. All right. Again, thanks everybody for joining. Make sure, if you are here, to subscribe, sub up to the channel, and like the live stream. Press the like button as many times as you can if you haven't already. Not as many times as you can, okay? I take that back. But press the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody being here. Again, happy Saturday, May 11th to you. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful Saturday out there so far. Appreciate you guys joining. Again, we do have a tornado warning over here into eastern Ohio. That is just radar indicated. We're not worried about that right now. We are worried about this geomagnetic storm, trying to get your questions answered. Let's see here. So Michigan, I see a question about Michigan here. If you are in Detroit, so let's look at the Detroit, Michigan area for the weather here in Detroit, Michigan, real quick. I think that the weather there should cooperate with us in the Michigan region. So let's go here and look at that. So we got rain showers early, and again, that's my cat outside my door, so I apologize. She likes to meow sometimes. She's into the weather as well. So, it looks like right now, rain showers early on this evening there into the Detroit region, but I think that we're going to be clearing out rather quickly as we go deeper into the evening hours. So if you're in Detroit, I would say go north towards the Flint region or Sandusky. I think that would be a great opportunity for you as well. If you're in South Detroit, go toward Ann Arbor, and further west toward maybe the Jackson region. Take an exit off of I-94 there. If you're in South Detroit, maybe like go towards Monroe near Lake Erie there. You may be able to see it there, or even towards like Milan. I think it's Milan or Milan there into Michigan. Outside of Detroit, that would be a great opportunity for you. Look north, but you may actually want to go further west than the Milan or Milan area. You may want to go toward Adrian because you might be kind of trying to look over the city lights there of Ann Arbor. So that's kind of what we're seeing in the Detroit area. Like Kalamazoo, if you're in Kalamazoo, I would go further maybe toward the west, towards South Haven, looking north over the lake of Lake Michigan. I think that is a great chance for you there in the Kalamazoo area, as long as the cloud cover is not impeding some of the viewing there. It should be clearing out quite nicely as we go down to Portage or Three Rivers. I would stay where you are if you're in the Portage or Three Rivers area, or maybe just go to the west down I-94 toward Benton Harbor, looking north over the lake there. Great opportunity there as well. Other areas in Michigan, if you're in Muskogee, I would just go along the Route 31 here and go all the way up towards maybe the Ludington area. Go further north. The further north you go, the better the chance you'll see a brighter view of the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. If you're near the lake here in western lower Michigan, I think you have a pretty good chance. Just look over the lake there. For example, if you're in Traverse City, the Glen Arbor area, Frankfort, you guys should be able to see it up here. Traverse City, go outside of the actual city itself. I would go up here towards the Suttons Bay Township or Northport area, or even maybe the Peninsula Township area. As long as there's not a lot of skylight there, you guys should be able to see that there as well. So we covered most of lower Michigan, so hopefully you guys have a good idea of where to go here if you live there. Let's see. How much would we see from the Advance, Missouri area? So let me see where Advance, Missouri is here. I think you would have a decent chance, but let me look at the weather forecast for that region because it may be a little difficult. You know how cloud cover is, folks. Cloud cover is few and far between. So, for example, like if you live in Traverse City, you may have cloudy skies tonight. For just an example, we're looking at mostly clear skies later this evening at Traverse City, so don't worry. But if we're looking south, like, for example, if Traverse City was cloudy, that doesn't mean Detroit's cloudy. So it's kind of different across the state, especially the bigger the state is. That's kind of what we're seeing with that. So looking at that as well, we're trying to figure out where I lost my train of thought, folks. My cat was meowing and completely lost my train of thought. Oh, no, I said it was cloudy in Traverse City. For an example, if it's cloudy in Traverse City and you go across the state to Detroit, it doesn't mean that the weather is going to be exactly the same there. It just means that, it's across the state. Cloud cover is just kind of weird like that. So Advanced Missouri, we're looking at partly cloudy skies tonight, a few clouds. You may want to bring a jacket, maybe lows in the low 50s there. If you're looking north, you should be able to see it there in the Advanced Missouri region. So most of the state of Missouri, like when we started the live stream, I think you guys have a fantastic chance to see it. For most of the state, I think it will be pretty nice, clear to partly cloudy at worst case scenario for most of us here in the state of Missouri. So I think we have a pretty decent chance to see the Northern Lights there from St. Louis back there toward Jefferson City, Springfield, Kansas City, Advanced Missouri, like somebody asked here in the chat. If you're in northern Missouri here, into the Chillicothe, Kirksville area, Maryville, a lot of rural areas up here in northern Missouri. If you can, go into southern Iowa. I mean, if you're in Kirksville, go up here towards Unionville, Memphis, or Centerville, Bloomfield into southeastern Iowa. Further north you go, folks, the better. So do that. If you're in Quincy, Illinois, if anybody's watching me from Quincy, Illinois, I would want to go probably further to the north and east up here toward Plymouth or over toward Rushville in west central Illinois, or even into the Missouri side. I would go maybe down here toward Monroe City and near the Hannibal region, and then take that 36 route all the way over here towards Monroe City or Macon or La Plata. That would probably be your best bet out of Quincy there. Again, because Quincy's a bigger city, the skylight is going to be kind of impeding some of that there in the city. So let's see here. Again, I'm trying to, you guys are all putting, I'm glad you guys are all putting the city names in there. I'm going to answer as many as I can here while we're live for a little while. So let's see here. Let's see. I'm not trying to scare anybody on here. We're all we're doing is answering questions about if you can see the Northern Lights. Nothing scary about seeing the Northern Lights at all. I'm not trying to scare anybody. So I'm not sure why that came up in the chat, but no, I didn't say anything on this entire live stream that scared anybody. All we're doing is answering questions about if you can see the Northern Lights. Nothing scary about that. That is actually a fantastic thing to do. If you want to see the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis from the solar storm that is actually trying to that is happening tonight, then make sure that you take this opportunity and do so. It'd be really, really cool opportunity. Let's see here. Will Northern Ohio, like Canton, be able to see the lights well? So let's look at the Canton, Ohio region. I think we mentioned Canton at the beginning of the live stream, but we can circle back and talk about that real quick. So let's look at Canton, Ohio, and the surrounding areas there as well, kind of giving you a general idea of the weather forecast for the Canton, Ohio region. So let's go here and... All right, so the Canton, Ohio region looks like scattered thunderstorms early. It's a 50-50 shot at some thunderstorms through the early to mid-evening hours. We actually do have a tornado warning that is just a radar indicated, folks, just to the north and east of Canton there, and a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail down there in southeastern Ohio. Long story short, there's a chance of some thunderstorms there in eastern Ohio today, and that will actually lead into the evening hours. So we may still have some cloud cover from that still occurring there. It looks like generally, though, late this evening, and especially after midnight, we'll see partly cloudy skies. So your viewing is kind of tough to say right now. I would say probably about 40% chance that you'll see it there just because of the cloud cover. If you do go out and try to see it, though, lows in the mid-40s. The lows will be at around 45, 46 degrees in Canton and Akron and Youngstown, so make sure to bring a jacket. Winds could be gusting up to 15 or 20 miles per hour. So that's what we're seeing there into the northeastern Ohio vicinity. Best time to see it in Memphis would be late this evening or early overnight, so between 10 p.m. and about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think the best chance would be to see that roughly around midnight. For most areas in the United States, around midnight or so would be your best chance to see it, I would say. midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, probably your best chance overall in the United States to see it, especially the further north you are in the United States. So that's kind of the time frame we're looking at for that. Again, thanks, folks, for being here. If you are here, make sure to smash the like button. We're up over 400 likes. Would love to hit 1,000 likes here on the live stream. Also, if you are not subscribed, we do more than just talking about the geomagnetic storm that is impacting Earth. Tonight, and to see the northern lights, we are actually do weather forecasts daily on this channel. So if you want to subscribe, if you want detailed, accurate weather forecasts for your area right at your fingertips here, if you watch me on a laptop, if you watch me on a tablet, a computer of any sort, your phone of any sort, make sure that you subscribe right here to this channel so you get daily weather forecasts. We will post another forecast video on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning detailing the threat for severe weather, an active week of weather next week. We have heavy rainfall occurring, and we'll talk temperatures as well for Mother's Day, as tomorrow is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there as well. Best time for St. Louis, again, probably around midnight or thereafter. I think, late evening, early overnight, the best chance to see it. Again, probably the same thing between 10 p.m. and about 3 in the morning or so. Again, we mentioned the St. Louis area earlier. If you don't want to be in Metro St. Louis to see it, you're not going to see it in the city skylight there. You want to go east into Illinois, down I-70 toward Greenville or Vandalia. Even though it's maybe an hour or two east, it is really, truly worth it just to at least try to see it. Or if you go west, down I-70, Wentzville over here into the Jonesburg or Warrenton area there in southeastern Missouri, your better chance to see it outside the St. Louis metro there. And again, this is if you want to see it. You don't have to go see the northern lights. All I'm doing here is just letting you guys know the weather forecast. Certainly, you guys do not have to go see the northern lights, but if you want to in the St. Louis area or anywhere in the U.S. today, all we're doing here on the live stream is just talking about the best areas to see viewing and the best time to see it and stuff like that. So, and your weather forecast, if it cooperates or not. We're just answering questions about that. Lincoln, Nebraska, I would say probably early overnight, around midnight or so. Again, pretty much the same thing. So Lincoln, Nebraska, let's look at the forecast here. We haven't talked much about Nebraska real quick. We'll look at the Omaha region as well. So anybody that is in the Omaha area watching me, we're going to look here at your weather forecast right now. So let's look here first. Let's look first at the Lincoln, Nebraska area, since we had a question about that. So let's look at Lincoln, Nebraska. See how the cloud cover looks like here. Thank you all for being patient with me. I appreciate it. Let's see. So we're looking at partly cloudy skies, actually quite warm, almost like a summer preview today there in Lincoln, Nebraska. Low to mid 80s, 83 topping out this afternoon, partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy continues. May see a little bit more cloud cover after midnight, so it's hard to say here. I think if you go west toward Kearney, you're probably going to run into more cloud cover. If you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, if you want to see the northern lights, go into Iowa. Go east towards Omaha and east of Omaha toward like Atlantic, Iowa, Creston, or Clarinda, Iowa, okay? Or even down here towards Nebraska City and very far southwestern Iowa here off of an exit maybe off of I-29. Because if you go west of Lincoln, you're going to run into cloud cover. So if you go down I-80 there toward York, Grand Island, and even further west toward the Kearney area, you're probably going to run into a lot more cloud cover there. So your best bet there into the Lincoln, Nebraska region is to go east into either southwestern Iowa or extreme southeastern portions of Nebraska. For Omaha, same thing. If you go further west to Omaha, just be wary that cloud cover may kind of hinder some of that viewing there. Maybe mostly cloudy further west you go toward Grand Island. Your best bet is to go east toward Atlantic there into western Iowa. Obviously, you don't want to go into Des Moines because Des Moines is a big metro area, but I would say take an exit off I-80 toward Avoca. I think that's Avoca, how you pronounce that. Atlantic or Greenfield over here, maybe just an hour east at most, hour east of Omaha. Better viewing over there, partly cloudy skies at worst case scenario, best case scenario, it's just mostly clear over there. So that's kind of what we're seeing into areas of western Iowa. So areas even further west, like North Platte, I don't have much hope in you guys over here seeing it, unfortunately. So if you live in North Platte and you really, really, really want to go see the Northern Lights, you're going to have to take probably a couple-hour trip further east towards the Grand Island area. You still may see it, but I think even further east, the furthest east you go into Nebraska there, from North Platte, the better, or the Kearney area, further east you go, the better. So it's just kind of one of those things. Like if you're in Kearney, you don't want to go too far. Maybe try the St. Paul area. If you're in Grand Island, you don't want to go too far. Maybe try the Columbus area and just take an exit and just make sure that make sure you're safe driving tonight, everybody. If you are going to watch the Northern Lights, make sure you're safe driving. That's the number one thing. But yeah, that's probably your best bet. So the further east you go into Nebraska, the clearer the skies will be. Brandon Smith talking about North Texas area. North Texas is, let's see here. Let's look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the forecast cloud cover here for tonight. I actually have not taken a look at this myself. I know there is some active weather down there in the Southern Plains, so this is kind of a little difficult because Texas is a big state. It looks like pretty overcast there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you are in Dallas-Fort Worth, North Texas tonight may be a little bit more difficult to see the Northern Lights than it was last night when some people were posting this on Twitter and X last night, some pictures of the Aurora Borealis from North Texas. Maybe a little bit more difficult to see it down here tonight. Even in the McKinney area, Plano, all you folks down here may see more of a mostly cloudy to an overcast sky. So unfortunately, not as good viewing here in North Texas as what we have saw last night with some of the amazing pictures of the Northern Lights from the outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So unfortunately, looking like a pretty cloudy night tonight for North Texas. A lot of that is because of our new storm system bringing rounds of severe weather not only today across West Texas, but also another round tomorrow and Monday. Have a slight risk down here in the lower Mississippi Valley, so pretty active weather down there. It's going to be pretty difficult to see the Northern Lights down that far south for the weather forecast. Nova Scotia. Yes, we'll answer Nova Scotia. If you're in the Halifax region, again, you want to go outside of city limits here. Let me look here at the forecast for parts of Nova Scotia as well, because it does look like there may be some cloud cover here too. Let's see here. Nova Scotia weather forecast. So let's see. Looks like mostly cloudy there, so it's going to be tough. If you live in the Halifax region, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is Halifax or New Glasgow, all these areas here in Nova Scotia. I think your viewing is going to be kind of difficult to see the Northern Lights just because of the mostly cloudy skies tonight. Going to have a lot of cloud cover up here. Probably not going to lead to a lot of great viewing. Maybe, relatively speaking, your best chance of clearer conditions maybe up here toward Amherst or further east toward Sydney, or even west here toward Yarmouth, but even that may be still a lot of cloud cover to deal with, so probably not looking very good for viewing there in most of Nova Scotia, especially near the Halifax region, or up here toward New Glasgow. Pretty cloudy skies up there for tonight. Again, if you are joining, make sure to subscribe to this channel, Weather on the Go. Again, my name is Hunter. I'm 23 years old, and I am from Northern Illinois. So again, make sure to subscribe to my channel. We cover Southern Canada weather, the United States weather, and the tropical weather as well in this channel. We do live streams on severe weather season. We do hurricane season live streams and winter weather live streams as well. So make sure that if you are here to subscribe to the channel, we'll have a new weather forecast video out for you folks tomorrow. If you're looking for a reliable, accurate, and very detailed weather forecast for your area, this is the channel for you. All right, so let's go. We keep answering questions. Montana. We haven't talked about Montana yet. Let's go further west here towards Montana. The Missoula area. Let's look at Helena, Montana, the Great Falls and Missoula area. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly as well. So Helena, Montana. Let's look right now at that. It looks like mostly clear. So yes, looking great there into the Helena region. Obviously don't want to look again in the skylight of Helena. I would head up here towards the, if you can, I don't know much about Montana, to be quite honest. Go toward Deer Lodge or Anaconda from Helena, or north on 15, between, probably toward Cascade. Like, go up that way to see it. Looks like 51 degrees for a low tonight in the Helena region. So upper 40s, low 50s for lows. Pretty clear out there tonight. Mostly clear skies, maybe 5% cloud cover. And winds west at 10 to 15 for the most part. So bring a jacket. You may get a little chilly there as we go through tonight. Keep a close eye there. But it looks like most of western and west central Montana should have some decent viewing conditions there tonight. Midwest, thanks for the 199. Will Normal, Illinois see the northern lights tonight? I think so. You guys definitely had a shot to see that last night down there in central and south central Illinois. So the Bloomington Normal region, I know exactly what you're talking about because I do live in northern Illinois myself. So yeah, the Normal area. Let's look at the weather forecast because, again, Illinois is a long state from north to south. So let's look here at the cloud cover. So for example, cloud cover in Rockford, Illinois may be different than Carbondale, obviously, because that's several hours difference. So let's look here at the weather there for the Normal area for tonight to see first and foremost if you are able to see it. It does look mostly clear. So high pressure and firm control. You may want to bring a jacket. So if you are not just viewing it from your vehicle and you're wanting to get out and look at this, be safe for one, and for two, when I say be safe, because of traffic and stuff like that. If you're pulling off of a main highway, just if you get out of your vehicle, just be safe. You guys know how to do that. But again, mostly clear skies, upper 40s, low 50s. Winds will be quite breezy early on in the evening. Will be decreasing to 5 to 10 miles per hour late evening overnight after the sun goes down. Just bring a jacket. Might be pretty chilly there. I think excellent viewing conditions there in the Normal region in Illinois. That is for sure. Tommy Pierce, thank you so much for the $2. What about Tiffin, Ohio? So let's go over here to the Tiffin, Ohio region and look at the weather forecast for Tiffin, Ohio. And again, hopefully I'm pronouncing all of these cities correctly. If I don't, make sure to please correct me in the chat. And only if I get it wrong. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Tiffin, Ohio, again, it's one of those things where you do have thunderstorms in the vicinity today. I do think there's a chance you could see it. Very gusty winds early this evening. Winds could gust over 35 miles per hour. Very breezy day today. Looking here, looks like low temperatures in the mid 40s. So if you do go out trying to see it, make sure to bring a jacket with you, especially if you are trying to view it outside of your vehicle. Looking at the cloud cover wise, looks like about maybe 40 to 50% cloud cover for your area. So it is kind of difficult to say for sure, but it looks pretty partly cloudy for your area. It looks partly cloudy for the Tiffin, Ohio region. Same thing probably for the Napoleon, Ohio region. I think for the Napoleon region, let me see exactly where that is. If Napoleon, Ohio is on the, I don't know if it's on the eastern side of the state or not. So let me look here real quick while we have that question in the chat. So speaking of Ohio, so Napoleon is up there south and west of Toledo. I think you guys have a decent shot at seeing that. So if you live in Napoleon, Ohio, I think you have a fairly good chance of seeing the northern lights tonight. A little bit clearer further west. So like western Ohio, like we were mentioning at the beginning of the live stream, if you guys were or were not here, I think areas from Toledo down to Bellefontaine, Dayton, Columbus, Chillicothe, all the way down to Cincinnati and stuff like that, you guys have a pretty decent chance of seeing it because the clearer weather will be working in. We got thunderstorms across east central Ohio right now. Some of them are severe, but nonetheless thunderstorms that will lead to cloud cover naturally because, again, they are thunderstorms. That will clear out, but I think that western parts of the state of Ohio will have the best chance to see it because of just generally clearing out. High pressure will be in firm control there. So if you're up here toward Cleveland or Akron or Canton or Mansfield, you guys may have some cloud cover still lingering from our thunderstorm activity from earlier on today. That may be difficult to see some of the northern lights just depending on where you are there. We'll keep a close eye on that. So again, if you're in Toledo, your best viewing spots Go west down 80 or 90 towards Swanton or over here towards the Wauseon area, or even south and east towards the Gibsonburg or Fremont, or even north. If you're on the north side of Toledo, go across into southeastern lower Michigan into the Whiteford Township area, Monroe, right on the lake there. Look north into Monroe, Michigan, right off of I-75 there. Great viewing spots there near Lake Erie. The Lima area, again, you guys should have pretty good viewing. So if you live in Lima, just go outside the city. Go to Ada, go outside of the city to Delphos or the Fort Shawnee area, or maybe even north toward Bluffton. Okay, so that would be some good viewing spots there as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you haven't subbed up to the channel, folks, we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. If all 1,500 of you subscribe to the channel, we'd be so much closer. I do appreciate you guys so much, though. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do want to and you want accurate weather forecasts for your area, if you live in southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics, be sure, again, to hit the subscribe button below, and also make sure to like the live stream. I appreciate it. Eastern North Carolina, I see Barbara's question there. Eastern North Carolina, again, you're farther to the south, maybe. So let's look at the Raleigh area for the weather forecast there. We haven't covered this area very much on the live stream, so let's look at Raleigh, North Carolina for the cloud cover forecast. And so looks like a few showers possible early. So that means through like early evening, clearing overnight. So that means it looks like we're going to start to see clearer skies, maybe right on time for late evening into the overnight hours. So I think it's possible that our friends over here toward Raleigh could probably see the northern lights, especially if you go outside the city towards the Henderson area or outside Wake Forest, or towards the east toward Red Oak or Rocky Mount, those areas, or possibly Wilson. You guys could see that if you go further east from Raleigh. If you're in the Winston-Salem region, go to the north, potentially up here, getting close to the Virginia state line toward Madison, Danbury, or Pilot Mountain. Definitely some hilly terrain here. You guys could be able to see that further to the north there. The Wilmington area is a little bit tricky. So let's look at Wilmington, North Carolina, near the coast. This could be a little bit more tricky with cloud cover with some showers early on here this evening, and some rain showers and stuff like that. So let's look. It looks like a little bit more thicker cloud cover for areas near coastal North Carolina. So from Kitty Hawk all the way down to New Bern, Jacksonville and Wilmington, maybe even as far west as Fayetteville there and Lumberton. You guys will have partly to mostly cloudy skies. The viewing may be difficult there the further east you go. I think the further west you go in North Carolina, the better. So if you're further west in North Carolina, I think the better. So if you go over there toward Asheville, if you're in the Charlotte area, go west. Go toward Asheville or Hickory. If you're in Winston-Salem, go north towards Virginia, or go west there towards Asheville or Hickory as well. Fayetteville, go west. If you go west, not obviously into Charlotte, but I would say go west into the Kannapolis area, Mooresville. Those areas definitely could have a better viewing spot there. So again, long story short, if you're in the Carolinas, especially North Carolina, the further west you go, the better. Less cloud cover there'll be. The further east you go, we're going to see a lot more cloud cover, even shower activity, rain showers over there into coastal North Carolina as well. Let's see here. Yeah, it just depends. Some areas are cloudy and some aren't. So it really depends. I think, again, I'm just trying to give you all the best possible scenario to view the northern lights tonight. Areas that may be more favorable for you to go view the northern lights. Again, if you are joining me, make sure to like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Let's see here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We haven't talked about Wisconsin too much here. Yeah, let's look at Milwaukee and like the southeastern Wisconsin vicinity here. So let's look at the weather forecast for our friends here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, Milwaukee. So let's look here and see. Yeah, look, Milwaukee looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks like mostly clear skies, upper 40s. Might want to bring a jacket tonight. A little bit chilly there, especially the later we get into the evening hours and overnight there in Milwaukee. It looks like low temperatures in the upper 40s there, around 48, give or take a couple of degrees. Winds are light and variable, but it's still even, kind of chilly there. So if you're in Milwaukee, I would go north along Lake Michigan toward Belgium or Port Washington or the Saukville area, or go further west towards the Watertown area and look north out of that. If you're in like Kenosha or Racine, Wisconsin, maybe don't go north because you're going to run into Milwaukee, but I would say go west towards the Burlington area or Elkhorn or even the Delavan, Wisconsin region. You guys will have a better chance of seeing it there, and look north out of the city skylight in those areas. So don't go north if you're in Racine or Kenosha. If you go north, you're going to run into Milwaukee, and you're not going to be able to see the northern lights very well, if at all, because of the Milwaukee skyline there. So if you are in Kenosha or Racine, go west towards Delavan or over here into Elkhorn or Burlington, outside of city limits, and look at the northern skylights, or the northern horizon, should I say. All right, let's see here. Iowa. Yeah, I believe Iowa has a pretty good chance. That's another state, just like Missouri, that has a pretty decent chance of viewing, because, like I said, if anybody is in eastern Nebraska, I think the further east you go, if you live in Omaha or Lincoln, if you go east into western Iowa, just maybe an hour drive, maybe 2-hour drive east, you will have a better opportunity than you go west. Because if you go west into central Nebraska, it's going to be difficult viewing because of cloud cover. So for Iowa, we're going to cover some of the bigger cities. So like Des Moines, if you're in the Des Moines area, I would say go east on I-80 toward Newton or Grinnell, and then take an exit, and then again away from city skylights there. And further west, I would say if you're on the western side of Des Moines, go toward Guthrie Center or the Atlantic area, Greenfield or Winterset. Those areas would be good viewing areas as well. If you're in the Ames, Iowa region, go over here to Boone, or go up to the north towards Webster City or something like that, okay, off of I-35. Great viewing there as well. Eastern Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City area. I would say for Cedar Rapids, go up here to Monticello or Anamosa and take an exit there off of, what is this, highway? Highway 151, or take 380 up there between Cedar Rapids and Waterloo up toward like Cedar Point or Vinton, and look at it there. If you're in Iowa City, I would say go over here toward Tipton, Iowa, or West Liberty, and look. But the only thing is, if you go further east from Iowa City, you're going to be running into the Quad Cities region, so Davenport and stuff like that. A lot of lights out there. If anything, you could go east, maybe to West Liberty or Tipton, or west would probably be your best option over here. Marengo, Williamsburg, Victor, or Brooklyn. Down I-80 there to the west, take an exit, look north. You should be able to see it there. So most of the state of Iowa pretty clear. Maybe a few clouds to go around, but I think mostly clear skies for most of the state of Iowa there. All right, so Jason Ramirez, thanks for the $4.99. We live in Salt Lake City. Will we be able to view the solar lights, and about what time would be the best? Thanks. So the Salt Lake City area here, let's look at first at the weather forecast, and we'll get you to the information that you asked about. So let's look at Salt Lake City here for the weather forecast first. The weather forecast there in Salt Lake City, we are going to see, just here 1 second. It's not what I wanted there. My computer is not cooperating with me. There we go. Salt Lake City area right now looks like it's probably going to be partly cloudy early in the evening, turning mostly clear as we go towards midnight there in the Salt Lake City area. Let me see here. So for the Salt Lake City area, it looks like the best viewing times for you, the best viewing times for the Salt Lake City area would be 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. local time. So whatever your local time is anywhere across the U.S., okay? So this is for the East Coast, the Central Daylight Time in the middle of the country, Central Standard Time, Mountain Time, or West Coast of the United States. You guys all, for your local time, between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. local time, will have your best viewing time there for the Northern Lights. Excuse me. So that's kind of what we're looking at for those areas there. Salt Lake City, the weather forecast, like I said, mostly clear. Might want to bring a jacket again. Lower 50s for lows around 52 or 53 degrees. Winds will be light, though, out of the east-southeast, about 5 to 10 miles per hour in Salt Lake City area. If we go out west here to Salt Lake City, best viewing spots here, probably outside of Salt Lake City. I would head up towards Morgan or Layton, and then just to the east there of Layton, or toward Morgan, like I mentioned. If you're south of Salt Lake City toward the Sandy area, I would go towards either Heber City, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Heber City or Park City area, or down here just outside of Provo. I think that would be your best opportunity to see the lights there. And again, it would be your best time frame to watch it would be between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. local time here for Salt Lake City. Okay, so that is your best chance to see that. All right. Yeah, you're welcome, Jason. Thanks for asking. Absolutely. We're here to answer all the questions we can for you folks. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So let's go down here to southeastern Missouri, Cape Girardeau, and look at the weather forecast for that region as well. The Cape Girardeau region, I do believe, should be pretty clear should be pretty good here. Let's see. Cape Girardeau. So Cape Girardeau here, we are looking at mostly clear skies, lows in the low 50s, and winds light and variable. So absolutely amazing viewing there. Again, you want to be outside the city there. So I would go either into the Illinois side towards the Anna area or Tams, or further up the I-55 corridor there towards Oak Ridge or Jackson, or even south towards maybe Scott City or something like that. That would be probably your best bet to view the Aurora Borealis there. And again, very nice conditions. I would say about 90% clear skies there tonight, 10% cloud cover. So pretty good viewing there in the Cape Girardeau area. So let's see here. Covington, Kentucky. So let's look here at the Covington, Kentucky region real quick. We got a question about that in the chat. We haven't talked much about Kentucky, so we'll do so. Covington, Kentucky for tonight does have a pretty decent chance to see it, although you do have partly cloudy skies, so it's kind of a 50-50 chance, flip of a coin there in the Covington area. I do think that temperatures will be chilly, so make sure that you do bring a jacket. Winds will be gusting over 20 miles per hour early this evening, but your best viewing time, again, will be between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. local time, so your best chance to see that will be then. Partly cloudy skies, that's what we're looking at there into the Covington, Kentucky region. For example, as well, the Louisville region, if you guys are watching me from Louisville, Kentucky, let's look at the weather forecast for the Louisville area. Temperatures tonight will be in the low 50s, absolutely 100% clear there in the Louisville area. So we're going to have 100% clear skies, completely stargaze night down here into Louisville. This is probably one of the better areas in the Ohio River Valley for viewing is outside of the Louisville region. We are looking at if you're in South Louisville, I would head south toward Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, or Mount Washington. If you are north side of Louisville, I would head into Indiana over towards Charlestown, Sellersburg, Scottsburg perhaps, or maybe north and west there towards Marengo, Georgetown, or Salem, and then take one of those exits there, or again, like I said, up 65 there, and take an exit off of Vienna. That would probably be your best bet for that as well. A lot of people are asking about Georgia. Again, Georgia is going to be pretty decent tonight in the Atlanta area. I think we're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies overall. If you're like in the Georgia region, like North Georgia, the Calhoun area, or Dalton, or up here toward Lafayette, you guys should be good. The Athens, Georgia region, I would go north toward Commerce, or even further north from there towards Carnesville. If you're down here into the Macon, Georgia region, I would go, I would take an exit off of, what is this road here? I would take 129 toward Gray, or even over here toward Gordon, or even further south, like I said, toward Fort Valley, Perry, or Byron. That would probably be your best bet to see the northern lights there. And again, Georgia's pretty far south, so it's kind of hard to say exactly. It varies from time to time. So if you saw the northern lights from Texas yesterday, well, Texas, you won't be able to see it just because of the cloud cover today. But if you saw it from eastern North Carolina and you have a chance to see it tonight because you have partly cloudy skies, the thing is, it varies. Even though it's still the same strength, it's a G5. It's an extreme geomagnetic storm happening, which means that the aurora borealis will be able to be visible from the southern U.S. And again, like I said, I believe I came across pictures, I think, of areas in northern Mexico that actually saw them last night. So very, very awesome viewing there, even into northern Mexico for the northern lights. So yeah, Myrtle Beach. I think the Myrtle Beach area, it could definitely happen. I would not be in Myrtle Beach if you're trying to view it because, again, city lights there. I think I would go toward Conway or the Johnsonville area, or even north towards the Sunset Beach area. I think Sunset Beach up here into North Carolina, or at least North Myrtle Beach, is a little bit less, there's less lights further to the north there, or even further to the west of that towards Hickory Grove. Like I said, Conway. I know Conway's a city, but again, you just get outside of the city lights there. Longs, or even up here toward the Carolina Shores. I think that's a great area. Or south of Myrtle Beach towards like Bucksport or Plantersville. Some open areas there. That could be a better opportunity for you to see the northern lights there. Again, South Carolina, you're pretty far south. It's very difficult to say. And I think the Myrtle Beach area ultimately will have partly cloudy skies, so it's not prime viewing like we see in Louisville, Kentucky. It's not completely clear skies. But I do think that your chances are, better than some areas like Texas, for example, where it's cloudy. Myrtle Beach is partly cloudy. So how about Cleveland, Ohio area, just west of Cleveland? Yeah, I think the Cleveland area, we are going to see some lingering cloud cover early this evening. It depends on how long some of those clouds linger into the evening hours. Again, your best viewing here in the Cleveland area is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. local time to see it. I would go west towards maybe Sandusky or Vermilion, or even further away from the lake, maybe into like the Norwalk area or the Wellington region would probably be a better bet there, even though maybe it's a 30-minute, 45-minute, maybe an hour drive. Probably your best bet there to see the northern lights. Lower Maine. Yeah, we haven't talked about Maine yet. Let's go up here to Maine. If you're talking about lower Maine, like the Portland region or Augusta or Lewiston, let's see here. Let's look at Maine. Let's look at the Portland, Maine region right on the coast. So let's look there first, and then we'll look at Augusta, Maine, and then up there toward maybe the Bangor, Maine region. We're looking pretty cloudy, though, unfortunately, for lower Maine. I think pretty cloudy skies for Augusta and Portland, it looks like. So the viewing there in southern Maine, or lower Maine as you call it, would actually probably be not very good tonight. So I think 80 to 90% cloud cover in a lot of these areas. It's going to be very tough to see the northern lights. Let's look up here into like the Caribou region. So Caribou, Maine, and northern and northeastern Maine. Let's see if they have a better shot at seeing the northern lights up here in the Caribou, Maine region. Yeah, your best bet, I think, in the state of Maine will probably be eastern Maine or northeastern Maine. Up here, like towards Caribou, or up into the Lincoln area. Those areas up here would probably be your best bet. Holton, Hersey, those areas probably be your best bet at seeing the northern lights, as we looks like partly cloudy skies early evening will give way to clearing. You definitely want to bring a jacket. Temperatures near freezing, around 33 degrees or so. So it's going to be pretty chilly there into the Maine region. Again, if you are here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to do a new video forecast for tomorrow. We do daily weather forecasts for southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics right here on this channel. So again, if you don't subscribe, you won't be able to get a weather forecast from me. So make sure if you are here, subscribe to the channel so I can keep you ahead of the weather forecast for your area right at your fingertips, folks. It's as easy as subscribing, and then every time you'll see notifications. If you turn notifications on, you'll get my weather forecast right away when I post it in the morning. My live streams right away if you turn all post notifications on. Definitely a great way for that. Let's see if we can do it, folks. I think we're almost to 92,000 subscribers here on the channel. Awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I can't see your question, whoever said that down there. Let's see. Fort Lauderdale. Patricia, Fort Lauderdale's pretty far south, I would say. Fort Lauderdale, that's in Florida, right? So let's see. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale's way down there. I don't know about Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it that far south necessarily. But hey, you never know. I would say, if you really want to try, then go towards Clewiston or Pahokee over here, or the Lake Okeechobee region. That would probably be your best bet at maybe trying to see it anyway if you want to try. But Fort Lauderdale and Miami down there, and even Cape Coral is pretty far south. So I don't know. I really don't know about that far south, but Ontario, Canada. Oh yeah, you bet. Into Ontario, Canada, you definitely going to be seeing some of that northern lights, especially in northern Ontario. I think if you're down here towards the US-Canada border, in southern Ontario around Thunder Bay or Dryden, you guys probably won't be seeing that because you're going to have some showers and thunderstorms. Also, a lot of cloud cover, actually leading to not good viewing really for these areas. So we're pretty much seeing some a lot of rain out there. So probably not good viewing for your area. Yeah, North Florida. I think North Florida has a chance to see it. Again, North Florida is pretty far south, so we'll say that. I think your best viewing there will be around, I believe, Tallahassee to Jacksonville. So let me look exactly at... First, we'll look at Jacksonville here. So we'll look at Jacksonville, Florida real quick. Clear skies. It is clear as a bell tonight in Jacksonville. We have 0% cloud cover, clear skies. 63 degrees for low, winds east at 5 to 10. So yeah, you will be able to see it outside the Jacksonville area. I would head up maybe into southeastern Georgia toward Kingsland or Brunswick area, or even Waycross. Just cross over there, maybe 30-minute drive, or head west towards Lake City or Live Oak, Jasper, those areas. You may be able to see it from there. Again, North Florida, it's difficult to say. Even though you saw it last night in some areas there, North Florida doesn't mean that we'll necessarily see it tonight. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Minneapolis. Let's look at that here. So we haven't talked about the Twin Cities region up here. Let's look at the Minneapolis-St. Paul vicinity and Brooklyn Park, St. Cloud, all these areas in Minnesota. We haven't talked much about Minnesota yet, so let's do so. So the Minneapolis region... looks like partly cloudy skies, maybe mostly clear actually. So it looks like about 10 to 15% cloud cover there for Minneapolis. Actually, a very nice Saturday evening there. We're talking about lows around 60 degrees in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Light winds, too, out of the south-southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So maybe a light jacket or maybe not. You definitely could probably get away with wearing shorts and a T-shirt and watching the northern lights up here into the Minneapolis-St. Paul region. I would say, though, do not watch it from Minneapolis, like downtown area. But I would say if you're in Minneapolis, go to the south and west towards St. Peter, south toward Northfield or Cannon Falls, east maybe into River Falls, Wisconsin, or maybe north towards Elk River area, you may be able to see it, or I-35 as well up towards maybe Hugo or North Branch. You may be able to see it up there as well. And I think a great area too would be the St. Croix Falls area up here into far northwest Wisconsin. Would be able to see the northern lights as well. Yeah, no worries, Rex. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, make sure, folks, again, subscribe to the channel. We'll have a new weather forecast video for y'all tomorrow. We're almost to 92,000 subscribers here, folks. That would be the stream goal. So let's see if we can do that here today. I appreciate it. Ultimate goal, though, 100,000 subscribers. If you want to help me get there, make sure, again, to subscribe to the channel. Sorry about that. So let's see. Bloomington, Indiana. So let's look here next at Bloomington, Indiana. Let's go down here south of Indianapolis. Let's look at this. And your forecast for Bloomington, Indiana. Looks like completely clear for the most part. 5% cloud cover for your area. Clear skies pretty much. Upper 40s, so 48, 49 degrees. Bloomington area, I would go a little bit further south toward Bedford, or maybe up here on I-69 closer to Martinsville or the Paragon area, or even Ellettsville. That would probably be your best bet. Indianapolis area, pretty clear as well. I would say go south toward Greenwood or Franklin. If you're on the east side, go toward Greenfield. If you're on the north side, around the Fishers region, go towards, I would say, Anderson, or on 31 all the way up there toward Tipton. If you're on the west side of Indianapolis, I would go towards Zionsville, Lebanon, or even the Thorntown area, or even Danville to the west. Some of the smaller vicinities outside of Indianapolis, outside of the city circle, to see the best viewing there in that region. Yeah, the Omaha region is likely going to have it. Like I said, if you're in Omaha, your best bet to see it is outside the city, but I would go into western Iowa because that's going to be more clear than like eastern Nebraska, for example. Even eastern Nebraska should see some pretty decent clearing for the northern lights tonight. The further west you go, though, into like central and western Nebraska toward the panhandle of Nebraska, I think that's where we're going to see more cloud cover and actually rain showers. I think, though, if you go the further east you go out of Omaha, the better, because you're going to see more clear skies. So that's probably your best bet. And again, everybody watching across the United States, if you haven't been here for the live and I haven't told you, probably, you know, if you've been here, then you're going to hear it for the 6th time or so. But the best viewing time is between 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. and 2 to 3 a.m. local time for your area. So if you're on the East Coast, 10 p.m. to 2 to 3 a.m. local time for the Eastern time. If you're in Central Time, it's 10 p.m. to 2 or 3 a.m. as well. And same thing for Mountain Time and also on the West Coast as well. So that is kind of that's your best viewing time all across the U.S. to see it tonight will be your local time between 10 p.m. and 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning local time for your area. Just to be clear with that. Yeah, Akron. Like I said, Akron, 10 p.m. to 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. So 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. is basically the best time frame to watch the Northern Lights in Akron area there. And again, there may be some cloud cover there. We'll have to wait and see. Charleston, South Carolina. The Charleston area, again, it's kind of hard to say. There may be some cloud cover down here, especially with the showers up there into southeastern North Carolina. I think the Charleston area, if you do, again, you're pretty far south. You may or may not be able to see it, even with a clear sky, because, again, you are in South Carolina. But I do think that if you are able to see it, you should be able to with a mostly clear sky. There may be some clouds this evening there in Charleston, but lows in the upper 50s, light winds, so maybe a light jacket will do. But I think most of us there and outside of the Charleston, South Carolina region should be able to see it. And like for Charleston, the Charleston region, I would go up towards Georgetown or west on I-26 toward Orangeburg. That would be your best bet there to see it. So like I said toward Orangeburg, but you could, off of the exit of Lincolnville, Ridgeville, Harleyville, all the villes here. You should be able to see it there pretty clearly there. Topeka, Kansas. Let's look at Topeka, Kansas. You should be able to see it tonight. Again, it just depends. You're pretty far south there too, but I think Topeka, Kansas is a little bit further north than some of the areas we're just mentioning, like Charleston. So we can look here at Topeka, Kansas real quick. And again, if you have any questions after the live stream is over, we'll also be able to answer those as well. So again, if I didn't get to your question, I'll get to it here after the live stream is over. Looks like partly cloudy skies there in Topeka, low 60s for lows, winds light and variable there. So it looks like maybe a 40-50% coverage of cloud cover. You should be able to see it though outside of the Topeka, Kansas region. If you look north, I would say into the so if you're going north out of Pekin, I almost said Pekin because I was talking about Pekin and Peoria, Illinois. No, Holton, if you go north out of Topeka into the Holton region, or go west out of Topeka towards St. Mary's or Wamego, or even up toward Atchison, you guys could see that there as well, or south out of Topeka toward Osage City or Emporia, Kansas, you may be able to see that as well. If you look north. And again, you want to look north. These are the northern lights, just to be clear, folks. So if you're looking on the western, eastern, or southern horizon, you're not going to see the northern lights. El Paso, Texas. El Paso's very far south. Let's look here at El Paso. Where's the El Paso region at? Let's see. Honestly, I don't really know. Texas is such a big state to me, so I'm not sure exactly where El Paso is, but we will find out very, very soon here. So let's look. El Paso, Texas. Okay, so you're in West Texas, right? That's where El Paso is. Okay, that's what I figured. El Paso is as far west in Texas as you can go. All right, so let's look here at the weather forecast here for El Paso, Texas, real quick. You may be able to see it again. It just depends. You're pretty far south there. Clear skies. We're looking at about 5% cloud cover down here. So clear skies, low 60s. Winds are going to be windy in this evening. We'll turn from 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts down to about 5 to 10 mile per hour winds out of the west tonight. So no precipitation or anything like that. And we're looking at pretty clear viewing there in the El Paso region for the northern lights tonight. The El Paso region, I would go probably to the north over into New Mexico or east. It's pretty wide open out here in the El Paso region. I would go east maybe, in towards, say, Van Horn or even the Del City area. That would be your best bet there. And there's a lot of open land out there in West Texas. I know it's a lot of desert type land, so it should be pretty easy to view the northern lights from out there. I might have to get my water here in just a moment. Since I've been talking, we've been live for over an hour now. We've been live for about an hour and a half or so here on the talking about your weather forecast, stuff like that. So if, we've been here for you folks almost for 2 hours. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure you do so. We'll have another weather forecast video for you tomorrow. And yeah, and make sure to like the live stream. I appreciate it. We're almost to 1,000 likes. We're at 818. Smash that like button. Denver, Colorado. Great question. Denver, Colorado. This is tricky. I think you're throwing me a curveball here because Denver is, the elevation is everything here. So, if you go up in elevation, there could be cloud cover. Same thing as you go down in elevation there. So Denver's kind of tricky sometimes because just the elevation component to it. It looks pretty cloudy though for Denver with a storm system there off of the Front Range into the Rockies. So I think that it's probably not going to be very good viewing there for the Denver region ultimately as we go through tonight. There's a lot of rainfall in like Amarillo, Texas. You're probably not going to see it tonight either. Canyon, Texas, Woodward, Oklahoma, probably not going to see much of that because of the cloud cover out here, a lot of rain and thunderstorm activity. So the viewing out here is going to be very tough, to say the least. Marianne, northwestern Iowa. Northwestern Iowa, you're going to have mostly clear, if not completely clear skies. So if you're in like the Sioux Center area, Spencer, Iowa, Storm Lake, Fort Dodge, Cherokee over here toward Lamar's, Sioux City, all these areas over here in northwestern Iowa should be very good clearing and very good viewing for the Northern Lights tonight. So that's what we're seeing up there in northern Iowa. A little bit chilly though, maybe overnight, so make sure to bring a jacket, especially if you're viewing it from outside your vehicle. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, we looked at that earlier in the live stream, Catherine. I'm not seeing good viewing there because of cloud cover for the most part, so I think Cape Cod is probably going to see mostly cloudy skies tonight, looks like, so the viewing is going to be difficult to see the Northern Lights there. Definitely going to be a little bit tricky to see that there. All right, let's see who else is on here. Mena, Arkansas. So let's look at Arkansas. We haven't looked at that yet. So Mena, Arkansas. We're going to look at that region. So cloudy skies tonight. So unfortunately down there into the Mena, Arkansas region, I don't see a lot of favorability to see the Northern Lights down here into the Mena, Arkansas region. I think it's going to be pretty cloudy. That goes the same way for Little Rock. Unfortunately, Little Rock to Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, up here towards Batesville and Newport, maybe even the Jonesboro area as well. I think most of the state of Arkansas, unfortunately, is looking pretty cloudy and pretty poor visibility for viewing the Northern Lights tonight, unless you're in far northern Arkansas up toward maybe Bella Vista, Mountain Home, the Cherokee Village area over here, maybe to Blytheville or Kennett. Those areas may be able to see it there, the far northern tier of counties there, closest to the southern Missouri border. There should be a little bit less cloud cover up there, but the further south you go, ultimately through Arkansas toward Little Rock, and even further south from Little Rock, from there down towards Pine Bluffs and into Hope, El Dorado, Camden, Hot Springs, Texarkana into Texas there, and maybe even Fort Smith there. I think it's going to be, the Fort Smith area going to be pretty cloudy there as well. So we're not really looking at good viewing for the Northern Lights that far south with the cloud cover we're seeing out there. Yeah, no problem, Marianne. Thank you for joining. Middle Tennessee. I think the Nashville area, I think we looked at this earlier, but we'll look at again one more time. So the Nashville area, if we're talking like Middle Tennessee, I always think about Nashville being in Middle Tennessee and like Murfreesboro and stuff like that. Mostly clear skies. So I think most of Middle and Eastern Tennessee should have mostly clear skies, high pressure and firm control tonight. We do want to watch out for some chilly weather. So if you are getting out of your vehicle and trying to view the Northern Lights, make sure you do bring a jacket if you do get colder easily, because temperatures there into the Nashville region, into Clarksville and Murfreesboro will be in the upper 40s to low 50s, maybe a few mid 50s mixed in there. Out of Nashville, the best viewing I would say is go west toward Dixon or go north and east toward the Gallatin region and up there towards, say, Westmoreland, Portland, or Fairfield, Tennessee. If you're on the southeast side of town, I would go outside, even further past Murfreesboro, over here toward McMinnville and toward the Cumberland Plateau region, further east toward Cookeville area or Sparta. That's probably your best opportunity to see the northern lights if you're living in the downtown Nashville area or, in the city circle there. If we're talking about like the eastern Tennessee region, like Knoxville, should be pretty clear over here as well into the Knoxville region. We're looking mainly at areas, if you go north out of Knoxville towards La Follette or Clinton or Oneida, you should be able to see it there. North and east of there, Jefferson City, Morristown, and up toward Johnson City, you guys should be able to see it pretty clear viewing up there in far eastern Tennessee. Now Chattanooga, let's look at the forecast here for Chattanooga, Tennessee. We haven't looked at this yet. Chattanooga could be a little different than Nashville just because Chattanooga is a couple hours away. Cloud cover is a little different, and there we go. So clear skies in Nashville, partly cloudy skies in Chattanooga, maybe a few more clouds there in southeastern Tennessee. If you are in Chattanooga, I would go north and east toward Cleveland or Athens, or north and west on 24 toward Tullahoma or Winchester. Those areas, or even McMinnville as well, to view the northern lights from those areas. Central Iowa. Yeah, central Iowa is going to be great viewing, mostly clear, if not completely clear skies there into central Iowa. I think your viewing there is going to be amazing. Into the Des Moines area, you just want to go north, I think. If you're in Des Moines, I would go probably not north, I guess, because you're going to run into Ankeny and also Ames, Iowa. I would go east towards Newton and Grinnell and just take an exit off of I-80 there and look north. Or if you're on the western side, just go toward Guthrie Center over here, Stewart, Earlham, and also the Adair, Iowa region, and just look north. Some great viewing there as well. If you're in Ames, Iowa here, I would just go west toward Boone, or north on 35 toward the Story City and Gilbert region. You guys should be able to view it there off of 35. And like if you're in Marshalltown, I would go outside of the city of Marshalltown there toward Gladbrook, Conrad, or State Center, Iowa. Just some better viewing spots there as well. Great question. I'm surprised we haven't. This is the first time, at least I've seen in the chat, about Chicago, Illinois. So Chicago, Illinois, we're looking at areas. This is a difficult thing too. You almost have to drive pretty far out of Chicago to see, city limits, because there's a lot of suburbs in Chicago. So if you're in downtown Chicago, you might as well just drive about an hour and a half west to see this. So like Rochelle, outside the DeKalb Sycamore area. If you're in North Chicago, I would travel here towards the west, toward McHenry, Woodstock, or Marengo, even outside the Algonquin area. If you're further to the south and South Chicago area, I would go further south towards Frankfort, or down I-57 here into the Peatone or Monee area, or even down to Mantino. That would probably be your best bet and seeing the Northern Lights there. Because downtown Chicago, unless maybe you're on Lake Michigan here, you may see it. Otherwise, the city lights there and most of the suburbs and downtown Chicago will be difficult to see. Hamilton, Ohio. Yeah, Hamilton, Ohio, we're seeing partly cloudy skies there. Probably not great viewing for the most part. 50-50 chance, flip of a coin there for viewing. Just kind of depends, but... Georgia, most of Georgia's, especially north and central Georgia, should be pretty good for viewing, like the Atlanta area, as we mentioned several times. I think that most of the North Georgia region, Atlanta, Sandy Springs, Athens, even the Macon, Georgia region should be pretty good. Dalton, Georgia, you guys should all be good for viewing. It's just Georgia's pretty far south, so it's not a slam dunk that you see the Northern Lights that far south again tonight. Maybe you saw them last night. It doesn't happen the same every single time, even though we do have a G5, a rare extreme geomagnetic storm happening that could lead to the Northern Lights being viewed that far south. I just don't know, whether or not we'll be able to see it that far south again tonight. But if you were, north and central Georgia is going to be pretty good with clearing skies. Indiana, like I said, most of Indiana pretty clear. You just have to find a rural area outside of city sky, the city sky there. So Fort Wayne area, I would go north toward Auburn. If you're in South Bend, maybe just go to the west toward Michigan City, toward Lake Michigan. That would actually be a great view there. So if like you're in Michigan City here, right on the lake, right into northwestern Indiana or the Dune Acres region, Gary, Indiana, the Portage region, or Chesterton, you guys have an amazing potential to see the northern lights here because of Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan's going to be very, very, there's not a lot of lights on Lake Michigan. Maybe some boats here and there, and some barges and stuff like that. But I think that ultimately that is pretty good to view the northern lights from there. And maybe the lake, the water could make the light kind of bounce off the water a little bit. That could be kind of cool to see that, wouldn't it? So that would be a good area there. If you're on the western coast there, like the western side of lower Michigan, Muskegon, down here to Grand Rapids and Holland, that would be great right on the lake there to see the northern lights. Oklahoma, the Oklahoma region, I think is going to be pretty cloudy. Let me look at the Tulsa and Oklahoma City region here. So let's look first at Tulsa, Oklahoma for cloud cover. I think we're going to have a lot of cloud cover down here. So yeah, partly to mostly cloudy skies. So there's a very small chance that you see it in the Tulsa region and up toward Bartlesville there, and even up here to the northwest of Tulsa towards Ponca City, Stillwater, Enid, Muskogee there in eastern Oklahoma. I think we're going to see partly to mostly cloudy skies ultimately. So this is actually going to lead to more than likely, unfortunately, not very good viewing for the northern lights here. Let's look at Oklahoma City. Could be a little different. So if we look at Oklahoma City here, oops, didn't want to do that. Oklahoma City here, we're going to see the cloud cover is, we're looking partly cloudy later this evening, so maybe a better chance. So Tulsa is going to be a little bit more cloudy. If you go west-southwest toward the Oklahoma City area, but you don't want to go into Oklahoma City is the only thing because there's a lot of lights there. So I would say Stillwater would be a good opportunity. Enid, Pawnee, outside the city lights there. I think the Stillwater or Ponca City area outside of there would be good. So Perry, Oklahoma as well. Those would be good areas to view the northern lights from there. And again, folks, if you are here, make sure to like the live stream. We're almost at 1,000 likes. And also make sure to subscribe here to my channel, Weather on the Go. Again, my name is Hunter here at Weather on the Go. And what we do on this channel is daily weather forecasts. In addition to some of these live streams we do severe weather live streams, hurricane season live streams, winter weather live streams, and daily weather forecast videos on this channel covering southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics. So if you want a detailed, accurate weather forecast for your area across the country, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below. We'll have a new weather forecast video for you tomorrow morning. Chesterfield, Virginia. So let's look here at Chesterfield, Virginia. I saw that come across the chat. Chesterfield. Looks like a pretty cloudy early to mid-evening hours, clearing out. It just depends on the clearing over there into Virginia, how fast the skies clear. It's really just dependent on that. But other than that, I think if you do clear out enough there into the Chesterfield region, I think ultimately you should be able to see the northern lights. Same thing for like Roanoke and Richmond, Virginia as well. Let's see here. Springfield, Missouri, and I also see Joplin, Missouri from Eric on there. So let's look over here at Springfield and Joplin, Missouri for you folks in southwestern Missouri. So let's look here at Springfield first, and then we'll look at Joplin, Missouri as well, because I saw Springfield first. So let's look here at that. So the Springfield, Missouri area, it looks like the skies will be partly cloudy tonight, about 40% coverage of clouds. So it's maybe a little difficult at times, but areas best viewing there for Springfield will be up toward the Bolivar region or Lebanon, or even moving east on 60 there towards Seymour, or south toward Ozark would probably be your best bet to see that. And again, the best viewing time here in Missouri and all across the country, again, if you aren't aware, is 10 p.m. between 10 p.m. tonight and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then Joplin area, I imagine the Joplin area would be very similar, with probably partly cloudy skies there as well, since Joplin's not too far from Springfield. Yeah, it looks like partly cloudy there in Joplin, about 30 to 40% cloud cover there. So about 60 degrees for a low around the Joplin area. Same thing, upper 50s, low 60s there towards Springfield. So again, if you're trying to view this from outside your vehicle, just make sure that you're doing so safely for one, but also, if you get cold, put a jacket on. It might be a little chilly tonight. Yeah, we mentioned the Charlotte area. Charlotte's going to see some cloud cover tonight. I think it's about a 50-50, flip of a coin there to see whether or not we'll have cloud cover or not in Charlotte. I think your best chance to go see it is moving to the west toward Asheville or Hickory out of the Charlotte, North Carolina region, because there's a lot of hilly terrain there. You can go toward the top of a hill maybe, and if you go to a top, it's very hilly terrain. You got the Appalachians, you got the Smoky Mountains and stuff like that. Just a lot of hilly terrain in western North Carolina. If you're at a top of a hill, you may have the best chance to see the northern lights there. But even at the bottom of a hill as well, you'll be able to see it anywhere there across the Asheville region, maybe northwest out of the city of Charlotte toward Hickory would be a good option as well. England, I think England would probably have a good chance to see it. I don't know about the weather forecast over in England there in the UK or anything like that, but I think you should be able to see it over there in the UK and in England as well. Muncie, Indiana, I see Muncie over here. The Muncie, Indiana region could see the northern lights as well. I think the forecast for Muncie, Indiana is generally clear, I believe, so I think we're pretty good there. Yeah, mostly clear skies. Pretty windy, though, early on in the evening. Winds will be quieting down to light and variable after 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts early in the evening. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. So that's what we're seeing there in the Muncie area. Like I said, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Indiana, most of the Midwestern states, pretty clear viewing. Most of Wisconsin as well, and Minnesota, pretty clear viewing there. Same thing for Michigan, pretty clear viewing. South Dakota, for the most part, pretty clear viewing there, especially if you're in like Rapid City, Pierre, over here into Sioux Falls, the Aberdeen area, Brookings, Watertown, Redfield. You guys should all be able to see that. Chamberlain, Spearfish over here to the western side of South Dakota should still have some pretty great viewing there, again, between 10 p.m. this evening and 2 and 3 in the morning. Clarence, New York. So let's look here at Clarence, New York. Real quick. All right, so Clarence, New York. Yeah, Clarence, New York, probably not going to see it. We have a lot of rain showers. Actually, it looks like rain through the middle of the week. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to see it over there in the Clarence region. Pretty cloudy and rainy over there in Clarence, New York, unfortunately, for the viewing here for tonight. So you probably more than likely will not be able to see the northern lights there. In the Clarence region in New York. All right, let's see who else is in here. Western Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee. I think Jackson, Tennessee should be able to see it. Memphis, you should be able to see it. Nashville, I think most of Tennessee's clear as well. So I think Middle Tennessee probably the best. Middle and Eastern Tennessee the best. Western Tennessee maybe a few more clouds, especially toward Memphis. The closer you get to the Mississippi River. Let's see. I see a question about the Eagles Rage says G5 tonight. Yes, a G5. An extreme solar storm is expected, so that means the northern lights will be viewable across the majority of the country, pending weather conditions, obviously. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay is pretty far south. It's going to be probably pretty difficult to see it that far south, maybe. But you never know. I think maybe the Tampa Bay region be able to see it down here. Let's look at the Tampa weather forecast just to see. And again, folks, even though you may or may not be in an area where you could see it, I would say just it's worth the shot just to go see it. It's worth the chance to try and see it, because this is one of the more rare events. Like I said, this hasn't happened since the early 2000s, right? So it's been a long time since we have seen a storm, a geomagnetic storm from the sun this strong. So the Tampa area looks like mostly clear skies, lows in the upper 60s. So a pretty nice night there for Saturday night in the Tampa region. I think for that, look, the clearer skies is good, but again, Tampa may still be a little bit far south, so it's kind of a flip of a coin whether or not it'll be that far south. Again, just because the aurora borealis, like the northern lights, were seen as far south as Georgia, the Carolinas and North Florida, or maybe like Texas or even northern Mexico last night, does not mean that it'll be that far south again tonight. It's just one of those things where it's kind of a flip of a coin here. The weather forecast has to cooperate with you with the cloud cover, and everything has to align together for that to happen. So even if you have clear skies and you're in Atlanta, you may still not see it. It's definitely still a possibility that occurs, but it's worth a chance to at least go see it, to be honest. So all right, we'll be on here for just a little bit longer to answer a few more questions on here, and then I think I have to go eat some dinner as it's getting close to dinner time here, about 4:30 almost my time. I live in northern Illinois, so it's almost 4:30. Yeah, Jonesboro, Arkansas. I think the Jonesboro area will see partly to mostly cloudy skies up here. Probably not great viewing there for Jonesboro, but maybe north into like the Cape Girardeau area. So like if you want to take a 2-hour trip to the north toward Cape Girardeau there from Jonesboro, that would be a better option for you to see it. Twin Cities, yes, Twin Cities, you'll have a great opportunity to see it tonight. Mostly clear skies up there. Should be able to see it on the northern horizon. Chattanooga as well. Yep, Chattanooga, we're seeing mostly clear skies as we go through tonight. And Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Wow, you guys are throwing me curveballs tonight, huh? The Hattiesburg area, you're pretty far south, but you may be able to see it. It is a G5 geomagnetic storm. It's an extreme solar storm tonight. So I would say probably, let's see here. I'm assuming we're probably going to see partly cloudy skies in Hattiesburg. So let's look at Hattiesburg. Yeah, it looks like probably not very good viewing down here. Partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. Your viewing is very, very not good for that area. So, hey, we need 39 more likes. We'll be at 1,000, folks. So thank you so much. If you haven't liked the live stream, make sure to like down below. If you have not subscribed here to my channel, make sure that you do subscribe. It helps to get more of this weather coverage. Again, this is not really weather. We're kind of, in a way it is. We are still going over the weather forecast for your area for viewing, but if you haven't subscribed again and you like detailed and accurate weather forecasts, we cover winter storms on here, ice storms, heat waves, polar vortexes. We cover tornado outbreaks, wind storms, everything weather related here on this channel. So if you have not subbed up to the channel, make sure to do so down below. I really appreciate that. Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, I think Omaha, again, we talked about Omaha a few times. Again, if you go east into Iowa, better chance. If you go west of Omaha, less of a good chance because we have, more cloud cover over there. I think if you're going toward Des Moines, you don't want to go into Des Moines, obviously. You want to stay outside city lights. But I do think that if you go in from Omaha to western Iowa, better chance. If you go west into eastern Nebraska, still a decent chance, but I think the further west you go through Nebraska, the chances drop off to see the northern lights there. So, yeah, I think the United Kingdom, the UK, so the United Kingdom should be able to see the northern lights tonight. I'm not too sure about the weather forecast over there, as we mainly just cover southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics on this channel for the most part. But I do think the United Kingdom, the UK, should be able to see the northern lights tonight. I would think. But I'm not sure what the weather is over there. So it just depends on cloud cover in those areas. Brunswick, Georgia. Again, you're pretty far south, but I think the Brunswick, Georgia area should have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, so you guys should be good over here for the most part. And again, you're pretty far south, so it's kind of a flip of a coin whether or not you'll see the northern lights or not. Hey, there we go. We got Alaska. I was wondering when somebody was going to ask about Alaska. So let's look at like Juneau, Alaska. Let's look at the forecast for cloud cover in the Juneau, Alaska region. So we haven't talked about Alaska yet. Very big state up here. The biggest state in the United States is Alaska. Unfortunately, in the Juneau area, Juneau, Alaska, it is looking to rain tonight. So we are probably not going to see the northern lights there in the Juneau, Alaska region. But we are keeping close eyes on some of the weather up here, even in with our friends up here into Alaska. Very big state. So even though it's a little bit rainy in the Juneau area, what about Anchorage? So let's look at Anchorage, Alaska, for our friends that may be tuning in from southern Alaska here. So let's look at the Anchorage, Alaska region, and Anchorage is looking pretty cloudy. So it looks like most of Alaska, unfortunately, is probably going to be trending cloudier tonight. So the viewing up here for the northern lights may not be as good as further south into southern Canada or the United States further south from there. Yeah, Ironwood, Michigan. I think you guys have some pretty good clearing there to view the northern lights into the Ironwood, Michigan region. Yep, same thing, Kay Quinn. It will peak between 10 p.m. and 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So you have like a 4 to 5 hour window there into Middle Tennessee to view the northern lights. It's a window of 4 or 5 hours or so. It's between 10 p.m. and 2 to 3 in the morning for that. And that's all across the U.S. That's your local time. So if you're in Eastern time there into maybe Eastern Tennessee or something like that, or the Carolinas, it's your local time. So 10 p.m. to 2 or 3 in the morning, local time for your area. Anywhere in the United States is when the best time is to view the northern lights tonight. Yeah, let's look up to the Pacific Northwest. I feel bad. We haven't talked about areas over here, but I haven't seen questions about it, but we'll do it. Let's look at the Seattle region real quick, or Spokane, Washington. Let's look here at the Seattle region first. Seattle, Washington real quick for anybody that may be viewing us over here from the Pacific Northwest. And looking at Seattle, Washington, looks like clear skies tonight. So amazing viewing there in the Seattle area. I would probably go further north toward Marysville or Mount Vernon into the Washington region to probably view that. I don't know with the Cascade Mountains being here in the Pacific Northwest, how that works out here. Again, I have never been to the Pacific Northwest, so I'm just kind of giving you a general idea of where to go, outside of Seattle for the city lights situation there. Yeah, Chicago, again, Chicago should be able to see it again, but you may want to go outside of city limits like the western suburbs. There's a lot of big cities there like Naperville, Aurora, and like Waukegan and Evanston and stuff like that. You might want to go west or south of the city of Chicago, or even near Lake Michigan, the shoreline there would be a great opportunity to potentially see the Northern Lights. So we looked at Seattle. Let's look at Portland, Oregon, and then we have a question about Maryland in the chat, so we'll look at that as well, and we'll also look at Boise, Idaho. So let's look here at first Portland, Boise, Idaho, and then I promise we'll talk about Maryland here in just a moment. So let's look here at the Portland region real quick for the weather forecast for anybody watching us from Oregon. You can see for the Portland region, looks like clear skies there, lows in the low 50s, so very good clearing there for Portland, Salem, and Eugene. So if you're in Portland, I would probably go east towards Sandy or even into the maybe even west up toward the Vernonia area or Banks. That would be a great opportunity there to see the Northern Lights. And then now let's look at Boise, Idaho now, and then we'll look at Maryland. We're just looking at the Pacific Northwest since we haven't really talked about the Pacific Northwest quite yet. Yeah, Boise, Idaho, clear skies. So it looks like clear skies across most of the Pacific Northwest as it looks like now. Lows there in the mid-50s. So Maryland, let's look first at like the Baltimore area. So like Baltimore, Maryland region. For any of us watching, for any of you guys watching from the Baltimore area in Maryland, it looks pretty cloudy, unfortunately, with a lot of rain shower activity in the Baltimore region. So we're looking mostly at cloud cover that's probably going to linger, and maybe some rain showers tonight as well. So it looks like most of Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey and Pennsylvania will be pretty cloudy tonight, unfortunately. For viewing, let's look at Charleston, West Virginia. That's an area we haven't, I don't think, covered much of yet, or at least at this during this live stream that I know of. So let's look here at Charleston, West Virginia. So Charleston, West Virginia has partly cloudy skies, maybe a slight chance of a rain shower tonight, so it just depends. If a rain shower develops, then obviously we won't be able to see the Northern Lights from Charleston, West Virginia, but that's kind of what we're looking at. California, I think California, you could see it. Again, there's a lot of big cities in California, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly, and also exactly how far south the Northern Lights will go tonight. It could vary from night to night, even though we had a G5 last night and we'll have another G5 tonight. It just makes, it just depends. It varies quite a bit. Like the Las Vegas area as well. Let's look at the weather forecast in Las Vegas. I would almost assume it would be probably pretty clear in Las Vegas as well. So Las Vegas, Nevada, we're looking at clear skies. So like I said, in the desert areas, we're seeing pretty clear conditions for the Northern Lights being viewed here. So if you live in the Las Vegas region, probably going to be able to see that. Also St. George and Cedar Key into southwestern Utah. Phoenix, Arizona. I think Phoenix, Arizona, you may be able to see it as well. Possible. Even the Tucson area there in southeastern Arizona, maybe. That is pretty far south as well. Like anybody watching me from Sacramento, San Francisco, the Bay Area, down here to Fresno, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, and San Diego, Santa Clarita, all these areas here into California, from the Sacramento Valley all the way down here into Southern California. There's a chance you could see it, I would say. It looks pretty clear over here for a lot of the clouds, but I don't really think, or really know anyway, that how far south the Northern Lights will be here. So if you're in California, your best bet to see the Northern Lights will be Northern California, maybe Central California. But if you're down here into like Southern California, into like Los Angeles, Santa Clarita, Long Beach, Santa Maria, Bakersfield, San Diego, it's going to be kind of difficult maybe because you're just you're literally a lot further south there in California, so it's kind of harder to tell. And there, yeah, you're right. There are too many lights in Las Vegas as well. So you want to go outside the city of Las Vegas. So I would say, like I said, go up to Mesquite, go up towards Georgetown or Cedar Key over there into southwestern Utah outside of Las Vegas. That would be your best chance to view the northern lights if they were to be that far south. Again, folks, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you have not subbed up to the channel, make sure, again, smash that subscribe button and smash that like button if you haven't already. We're approaching 1,100 likes and already getting closer to 92,000 subscribers. You guys can all help me get to 92,000 subscribers right now before the live stream is over if you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. We're on the road to 100,000 on this channel. Alabama is kind of tough to say. Right now, looking at Alabama, I guess we haven't covered this a lot. The northern part of Alabama up toward Huntsville and Florence would be your better chance just because also you aren't farther north for one, but for two, I think a lot of clearer weather up there into northern Alabama. If you're down here into Birmingham and Tuscaloosa or even the Montgomery region, you may have more cloud cover to deal with, and you're also a lot further south, so it's kind of a flip of a coin for whether or not you will see the northern lights that far south as well. So even the Huntsville region, we may be clear, but we may not see the northern lights because it just, again, it varies of how far south it goes. Even though we're having another G5, extreme geomagnetic storm tonight, that may still lead to, differences in how far south the northern lights are viewed in the United States. Oswego, Kansas. I think Kansas has a decent chance to see, especially, I'm not sure where Oswego, Kansas is exactly, what part of the state, but I will say this. If you're in western Kansas, you're likely not going to see it with the cloud cover there. Eastern Colorado either. From Denver, Fort Collins down to Colorado Springs, the Lamar area, and over here to like Goodland, Kansas, Hayes, Dodge City, Ulysses, over here to Liberal, Kansas, and even further east towards the Garden City area, Lakin. This is all in western Kansas. You guys are probably more than likely going to see a lot more cloud cover and rain shower activity, so probably not that. But eastern Kansas, you have a better chance of seeing the northern lights, like from Kansas City there into Missouri to Topeka, Manhattan, the Emporia area down to Wichita, Hutchinson, and Great Bend. You guys have a little bit better of a shot, a better chance to see the northern lights there. Keep a close eye on that. Grant Park, Illinois. Yeah, most of the state of Illinois, I'd say probably honestly like 100% of the state, probably pretty good viewing there. So if you live in Illinois, you should be good. Again, Grant Park, I believe, isn't that up by Chicago? You might want to go outside the city limits, obviously, to see, because the city lights might kind of hinder the viewing a little bit. But yeah, you're welcome, Catherine. Absolutely. And you're welcome, Mandy, as well. Adam says, I saw the northern lights in Springfield last night and was excellent. Awesome. Well, you should be able to see the Springfield, in the Springfield area, the northern lights again. Tonight. Should be pretty clear viewing there in the Springfield, Illinois region once again. Unless you're talking about Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri should have pretty clear viewing there and also in Springfield, Illinois. So, yeah, we covered the Charlotte area. I think Charlotte, again, flip of a coin. You're pretty far south for one, and for two, looking at more of like, partly cloudy skies, clearing later in the evening. And again, the best viewing times is between 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning, roughly. Okay, Springfield, Missouri. Cool. Well, you should be able to see it again in the Springfield, Missouri area. Maybe a few more clouds tonight than last night. But still, you should be able to see the northern lights again tonight, I would think, into the Springfield and Joplin area, into southwestern Missouri. Should be some pretty good viewing there. Yeah, Oklahoma, most of Oklahoma is going to be pretty cloudy, unfortunately. I think your best chance maybe is northeastern Oklahoma toward Tulsa there, maybe, or Bartlesville, or up here towards Claremore, Miami, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, Muskogee. I think the further west you go in Oklahoma toward Elk City, Woodward, Altus, and like ultimately west of Oklahoma City, and then especially into the panhandle of Oklahoma. You see all the precipitation here. That we're going to have a lot of clouds and precipitation there. So, and in the Texas panhandle, same thing. Amarillo down to Lubbock, probably pretty cloudy skies. You probably won't be able to see the northern lights tonight down in those areas. Yeah, you're welcome, Carrie. Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing, Lisa Marie. Luray, Virginia. I think the Virginia region is going to be pretty all right. I think partly cloudy skies. It's kind of a 50-50, flip of a coin there into Virginia. I think western part of Virginia, like into the Roanoke area, further west toward Lebanon, Gate City, Wise, Galax, all those areas, you guys should be able to see it. I think the further east you go toward the Delmarva region, you're probably going to see a lot more cloud cover toward Richmond and Fredericksburg, those areas, and Virginia Beach especially going to be pretty cloudy over there. So just kind of a general synopsis of the clouds there. So the further west you go in Virginia and West Virginia, you'll see clearer skies. The further east you go, you will see more cloud cover there, especially as you get up there toward Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and much of New York State. We're seeing a lot of cloud cover and even some rain shower activity for tonight. Amanda Shoemaker, thanks for the zip code 6560. It's better for me if you put your town name, at least, or like the state you live in, so it's a little bit better, town and state, than a zip code. But I'll put that in there real quick to see. So what is it, 6560? So let's see here. So we're talking about, okay, yeah, so you're talking about Las Vegas. So yeah, like I said, the Vegas lights are going to be, probably up towards St. George, Cedar Key, and Mesquite is probably going to be your best bet to view the northern lights there outside of Las Vegas. Yeah, the Milwaukee area, I think the Milwaukee region should be able to see it. Pretty clear skies there. Milwaukee, high pressure tonight, so a lot of clear skies. A little chilly, but I would go probably further west out of Milwaukee towards Whitewater, or even towards the Waukesha area, or even Lake Mills, or even north out of the city towards like Sheboygan, the Belgium, Saukville, or Port Washington area. A little bit better viewing, again, outside of the city lights of Milwaukee. Ontario should be good, especially northern Ontario, Canada. I see Jake up there with 53,118. So let's look here at that. So 53,118. All right, so we're looking at Wisconsin here. This is, just same thing. Yep, the areas west of Milwaukee, you'll have great viewing there, Jake. So you'll have mostly clear skies to contend with there. Toronto, Canada, that's a great question. Let's look at the forecast here for Toronto, Canada. I would imagine that would be a great area to view as well. So the Toronto area, we're basically looking at, I think mostly cloudy skies. So unfortunately, we're looking at a lot of cloud cover and some rain shower activity for Toronto. So unfortunately, the viewing here is not going to be very good. So if the viewing was good last night, it's probably not going to be good tonight. So probably looking at a lot of cloud cover there into the Toronto region. Tiffany says 98,501. So let's look here at 98,501. The zip code. And we're looking here at Thurston County, Washington. This is, you'll have a great viewing up there near Tacoma and Seattle as well. I think the Olympia area into Washington, you guys should be able to see the northern lights there. Pretty clear viewing there, at least clear skies. So that should be some pretty good viewing for that area out here in the Pacific Northwest, just south and west of Seattle into Olympia, Aberdeen, Centralia, Eatonville, Graham, Tacoma, and Kent. All you guys over here should be able to see the northern lights pretty clearly with clear skies there as we go through tonight. Dallas, Texas. Yeah, Dallas, Texas is going to have a lot of cloud cover tonight versus last night where we saw a lot of clear skies. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more cloud cover. This does include the suburbs as well, like Sulphur Springs, McKinney, Plano, Fort Worth, Denton, Gainesville, and Sherman, and then all the way over here toward Tyler, Texas. I think we're just going to see a lot of cloud cover and thunderstorm activity in and around Texas here, so that will unfortunately lead to poor viewing of the northern lights there. Hey folks, we are exactly, let's see here, 342 subscribers away from 92,000, our stream goal. Our stream goal is 92,000, so if you want to help us get there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are only 341 now away from 92,000. If you want to help out in doing so, I really would appreciate that. Also, make sure to like the live stream down below. Donald says 46,750. So let's look at 46,750 here. Okay, so you're looking at northeastern Indiana here, so southwest of Fort Wayne. Yeah, most of Indiana will be clear cloud cover. We have about, maybe as much as 5% cloud cover here in that region of Indiana. So I think clear skies there for the areas near Fort Wayne and northeastern Indiana. So some pretty good viewing there. Jill comes in with 67,216. You are near Wichita. So yeah, the Wichita area, I believe, let me look for sure, but I believe Wichita should have at least, at worst case scenario, partly cloudy skies for tonight. And I'll look for sure because I actually do not remember and I'm not going to guess. I'm going to give you the accurate forecast. So let's see here. So for the Wichita area, ultimately, I think... Yeah, so we have partly cloudy skies, so I was right. So mix of clouds and stars tonight. Lows in the 60s, the low 60s there. Pretty nice night, though, ultimately with the temperatures. But I think that Wichita, it's going to be a 50-50 there. A flip of a coin to see the northern lights there. But I think there's a pretty decent chance that you should be able to see them in the Wichita region as we go into tonight. Especially if you go east. Like if you go west from Wichita towards Dodge City or Hutchinson or Pratt, you probably won't see them because you're getting closer to cloud cover. If you go east toward El Dorado, up here to the northeast toward Emporia, Osage City, Ottawa, or even further east from there towards the Humboldt area, Eureka, you'll probably have a better opportunity to see that because the further east you go into southeastern or eastern Kansas, you'll have more clear skies. So that's what we're seeing with that. Let's see here. Braden coming in, 305.17. So let's look at 305.17 here. Whoops, my bad. Did not mean to do that. Sorry, folks, if that hurt your eardrums. I did not mean to do that. So 305.17, we are into the Atlanta region. Yes, the Atlanta, Athens, Georgia area there in northeastern Georgia and North Georgia. You guys will have some pretty good viewing. Again, this is a little bit far south again. It's kind of variable. We have a G5 solar storm, so it's pretty strong. It's one of the most extreme storms that you can get on the scale. A G5 is as strong as it gets, so I do think that the chances of seeing it would be pretty good here with the cloud cover being pretty few and far in between. We're talking about mostly clear skies, so you should be able to see it if it is that far south. All right, let's go through more of these here. Lawrence, South Carolina, I think Kelly's putting in 29,360. So let's look here at the Lawrence area in South Carolina. Mainly clear skies. So yeah, we should be able to see it there in the Lawrence area. Again, if the northern lights are that good. If the viewing is that good from that far south, then we should be able to see it. Again, it's pretty variable. I know last night, again, we saw it as far south as Florida and Texas and stuff like that. May be able to see it again in the Lawrence area tonight. Melissa, 41,129. So let's look here at 41,129. And we were talking about, okay, so that's the same area, I believe, isn't it? 41,129. So that's Lawrence. Again, that's mainly clear skies. We just talked about that. Yeah, folks, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure to do so down below. And also, I'm going to post my second channel here on the live stream real quick. This is my second YouTube channel. It's called North Central Weather Center. If you live in the North Central United States and you want a more detailed weather breakdown of your area there, go subscribe to this channel. Just taking a little bit of a break here real quick. Go to this channel and subscribe to that one as well, because you'll get more weather forecasts for that. We do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays and weekends if needed on that channel. So go subscribe to that. If you live in the North Central United States, whether it's the Midwest, the Upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Northern Plains, or the Central Plains, we even cover Kansas on here. I'll pin it to the top of the live stream chat here. If you want to go subscribe to that channel, if you want a more detailed breakdown of your weather forecast for that, go subscribe to that channel. We're going to be doing a video again on Monday for that one, covering the North Central U.S. I appreciate that. All right, let's get back here to answering more questions. But so that will be at the top of the live stream chat. If you want to subscribe to the second channel, again, we'll have another video there on Monday and then Wednesday and Friday. So we do Mondays, Wednesday, Fridays on that channel. We do mostly every day on this channel here, Weather on the Go. Let's see. No, Braden, it will be visible. So Braden Hawkins, the northern lights will be visible if you can see them from your area from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. So that's what we're looking at here. Let's see here. Peaceful Journey, 37,404. So let's see here, 37,404. Yeah, the Chattanooga area, I believe, right? Yeah, so the Chattanooga area, we're looking at mainly clear skies there for the most part in the Chattanooga region. So, like we said, again, Chattanooga, I think we should be pretty good there. Detroit, yeah, we should be good up here in Detroit as well. We're going to have pretty clear skies for viewing. Again, you don't want to be in the city lights there, Detroit. You want to go north and west towards Flint, but not too Flint, but, like Genoa Township, Hamburg, Rochester Hills, maybe still in the city lights there. You might want to go up 75 a little bit further to the north and west toward Waterford Township, maybe. So Kelly B, 35,475, and then we'll do Leanne Brown after that. So let's do Kelly B, 35,475. 35,475. That we're looking at the Tuscaloosa area. The weather down there, we're going to be seeing partly cloudy skies down into the Tuscaloosa region, maybe even mostly cloudy. So the viewing not as good, and also you're pretty far south there. So again, kind of one of those areas where it's a flip of a coin at this point. Let's look here at Leanne Brown, 47,022. And again, folks, even after the live stream is over, and if I didn't answer your zip code or your question or anything like that on here, make sure to do so. Put your question in the live stream chat even after the live stream is far over, because I will answer as many as I can after it's over. So make sure you do that. We're into the Cincinnati area. Yes, you guys are going to have mostly clear skies tonight. So Leanne, yes, you're going to have Leanne Brown, you're going to have mostly clear skies for viewing tonight in your area as well. All right, let's go up here now to Galena, Illinois. Thanks for joining. Almost a neighbor there. I live, again, west of Chicago and northern Illinois myself. So 61036, Galena, Illinois. Galena's going to have mostly clear skies tonight. I think about 5% cloud cover. So Galena, Illinois, I've actually been through Galena before. You have a lot of kind of like a plateau type land up there, a lot of hills and stuff. So I think the Galena area should be able to see it up there with a lot of those overlook areas up into Galena. The Joliet area there, Amanda, the Joliet region, we're looking at mostly clear skies in Joliet. You just want to be outside of the city. So if you're in Joliet, I would probably go southeast or south toward Coal City, or even southeast over here towards, say, the Manhattan, Wilton, or Elwood region. Just outside the city lights and stuff like that, just so you guys can view the live, the northern lights. Let's see here. Long Beach, Mississippi. Let's look here at Long Beach, Mississippi. That's pretty far south. I don't know if we'll be able to see it that far south into the Long Beach region, but there are going to be mostly clear skies, so you will have the favorability from the weather for that, but you are pretty far south there, so it is definitely hard to say. The UK, I can't check the weather on that. I don't have any application where I could check the United Kingdom for weather, but I do think that if you are in the United Kingdom, the UK, you should be able to see the northern lights if there are clear skies there. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't do the United Kingdom or anything like that because I don't have any data for that. I'm sorry about that. I wish I did. Let's see here. Eric, 28012. So let's look at 28012 here. 28012. We're looking at, is that the Lawrence area again? Is that what you're talking about, Eric? Lawrence, South Carolina? That area it's a 50-50 chance of seeing that there. Again, I would check the United Kingdom. I don't have any data, though, for the United Kingdom. I don't have any data that I could use for that because all of the data that I use is just for Canada, the United States, and like Mexico and the tropics. I don't have any data that I could use for the UK. I'm sorry about that. But again, like I said, the UK, you should be able to see the northern lights if it is clear outside in the United Kingdom tonight. But again, I apologize where I cannot... I don't have any data to go off of, and I don't want to guess either. So all I can tell you for the United Kingdom is if you do have clear skies, you should be able to see that. So again, I apologize for that. Pittsburgh area. So let's look at the Pittsburgh area. I think Pittsburgh is probably going to be pretty cloudy, but let's see here for sure. The Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania region, we're looking at, pretty cloudy and actually a lot of shower and storm activity for tonight, some heavier rain. So probably not good viewing there for the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania region at all. Again, folks, thank you all for being here. Make sure, again, if you are here and you have not been on the live stream for a while and you have not pressed the like button, make sure, though, that you do press the like button. Again, it's that thumbs up button. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel as we are almost to 92,000 subscribers. We are currently only 265 subscribers away from 92,000. So if you subscribe to my channel, you can help me get there. That's our stream goal for today is 92,000. I appreciate everybody being here for today. Hope everybody's having a great weekend so far. Clarksville, Tennessee. Yeah, Clarksville is going to have mostly clear skies. Like I said, Tennessee is one of those states where I think that you should be able to see a lot of clear weather. Unless you're in Memphis, you may see partly cloudy skies tonight near the Mississippi River there. But even so, you should be able to still view the northern lights from Tennessee for most of the state there as we go through tonight. Yeah, California, most of California should see it. That's if it should be strong enough to be viewed from especially northern California, but central and southern California is pretty far south. Again, it varies. Even though it's a G5, it's an extreme geomagnetic solar storm. It should still be viewed from California though. Yeah, we've talked about the West Coast a little bit. Again, like I said, the Boise, Idaho area, much of the Pacific Northwest up here, even into areas of British Columbia, like the Vancouver region. I think the Vancouver area should be pretty good. I believe, let me look for sure. I think Vancouver should be pretty clear. So if we have anybody watching from southwestern Canada, we should be pretty good. So the Vancouver area is mostly clear skies tonight. So you guys should be good there in the Vancouver region, in British Columbia, Canada as well. How about Butler, Pennsylvania, 16001? So let's look here at the Butler, Pennsylvania region, 16001. Looks like thunderstorms for that region. A chance of it anyway. I don't think the viewing up there and for the Pennsylvania area is going to be very good. You can see a lot of shower and storm activity across most of the northeast U.S. in here, the area I'm circling. We're having a lot of rain shower activity over here. Even parts of like New Hampshire, Vermont, and even like western Maine over here are going to see a lot of cloud cover still from this activity. Boston still doesn't show precipitation much, but a lot of cloud cover over here. Same thing down into like Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City as well. We're seeing a lot of rain shower, thunderstorm activity, a lot of cloud cover for most of the Northeast for tonight. So unfortunately, those areas will likely not see much of the Northern Lights. Again, folks, we have been live for almost 3 hours at this point. So if you have not subbed up to the channel, I would appreciate if you do, and if you don't, that's fine. But again, we will have another detailed, accurate weather forecast for you. We do daily forecast videos on this channel every day, pretty much. I only take off maybe a few days a year just for breaks, because you got to always have a break from the weather. But the weather does not take a break, so I try not to take a break either. And we always do weather forecasts on this channel. St. Louis area, I think the St. Louis region is going to be pretty clear. So if you live in St. Louis, pretty clear. You just want to get out of the city lights there. Again, go to the Illinois side, go to the Missouri side. You should be good either way. The St. Louis region. Georgia, again, we've covered Georgia, Collin, several times. I think Georgia should be pretty good. Again, north central Georgia for viewing there. Should be pretty good there as well, especially like the Atlanta area and stuff like that. Wow, we are getting so close, folks. We are exactly 250 subscribers away from 92,000. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks to all the new subscribers today. Thanks to everybody who's liked the live stream. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it. John, let's see here. 86023. So John, are we talking about the Grand Canyon area of Arizona? If we're looking at that, we're probably looking at pretty clear skies over here as well. So I don't see any problems over into the northern Arizona vicinity. I think we're going to see pretty clear conditions there. Same thing with like Las Vegas, Los Angeles. Again, that's pretty far south. We'll have to see if the northern lights are viewed from that far south. But if they are, we should be able to see them from that far south. So pretty clear skies. Let's see here. The Oklahoma region, again, Oklahoma, I think most of Oklahoma should have a chance to see it unless you are in the Oklahoma Panhandle or you're in far like western. So this area that I'm boxing out in Oklahoma, you won't be able to see it. So this area in Oklahoma here, the Panhandle region, or far western Oklahoma, west of the Oklahoma City area, you will not be able to probably see it. If you're in southern Oklahoma, south of Oklahoma City, you probably won't be able to see it either, likely because of cloud cover. If you're in northeastern and northern Oklahoma up here, you should be able to see a little bit better of viewing because less cloud cover up toward Tulsa and stuff like that. 96,707. Let's see here. Thunderstorms for the Pittsburgh area for 96,707. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of clearing there. Not enough clearing anyway for any of that to happen. So in Pennsylvania. All right. Really? You saw it from the Joshua Trees area? Is that in California? Is that in California? I don't know. I think that is. I think the Joshua Tree Forest area is in California. If you saw it that far south yesterday, it was a G5, which is an extreme, geomagnetic storm. One of the most extreme solar storms you can have. I think that you should be able to see the northern lights again from that region, again, with the cloud cover clearing out. 26,101. Yeah, Ohio should be able to see it, especially if you're in western Ohio. Yeah, so if you're in western Ohio, you should be able to see it. Other than that, again, this is the first extreme geomagnetic storm. This is a G5. This is the strongest since 2003, folks. This is 21 years in the making now. So this is the first time in 21 years, if you aren't aware, that we are actually experiencing an extreme solar storm of this magnitude like we're seeing tonight. So again, this is one of the more rare events that we're seeing, pretty rare to say the least. Was it upgraded? I mean, it's probably about as strong as it gets. So I would say let's see here. Just for some fun facts for you folks while we're here, the most intense solar storm in recorded history was in 1859, which actually led to the northern lights in Central America and even Hawaii. So there you go. We could even see the northern lights. If something ever happened to that magnitude again, like back in 1859, there was actually the northern lights being shown in Central America and even Hawaii there. So how crazy is that? So it just gives you an idea of if it gets strong enough, you could see it pretty far south. I don't know about the Hawaiian Islands. I don't know about that, like Honolulu and stuff. I don't know if it's that strong technically to get that far south. Again, I doubt it because it looks like here the strongest in history was in 1859, and we know 1859 was a long time ago. So I would say that probably not going to be that far south into the Hawaiian Islands, but if it happened once before, it definitely can happen again. But I don't think this one is as strong as that one back in 1859. Oh, really? You saw, Dwayne Smith says, I saw them last night in Americus, Georgia. Yeah, Michigan will be able to see the lights. Yep. Yeah, Michigan will be all of the Upper Peninsula for the most part. Unless you have cloud cover, I think the cloud cover may be a little bit more significant there in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, up here towards like Marquette, the Houghton area, and then over here towards, say, let's see, Hiawatha maybe. that region of the upper peninsula of Michigan, but the lower peninsula of Michigan here for Detroit, Flint, Lansing, Saginaw, Bay City, Mount Pleasant, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Muskogee, Holland, up to Traverse City, all those areas there in lower Michigan, you should be able to see the northern lights. Again, pending clear, you should just be able to see it because there's clear skies there into lower Michigan as we go into tonight across those areas. What? I don't know if that really exists, but the Southern Lights, I've never heard of that before. I don't know if that really exists or not, but no. Boston, Massachusetts, you're going to see cloudy skies. You're probably not going to be seeing the Northern Lights, unfortunately, tonight with that, so probably not. Yeah, I did. I just said in Michigan. Yep, there you go. So, yes, Michigan will be able to see the Northern Lights. Unless you're in the upper peninsula of Michigan. If you're in the lower peninsula of Michigan, you probably will not. Or did I say that wrong? Did I say that wrong? I don't know. I've been live for like 3 hours. The upper peninsula of Michigan, you should not be able to see the northern lights because it'll be cloudy and rainy. The lower peninsula of Michigan will be clear. So there we go. That's what I meant to say. If I said that wrong before, I apologize. But no, tonight should be a G5 again. So it looks to be an extreme geomagnetic storm, extreme solar storm again tonight. So it looks like a G5. So it should be viewable again from all the way from Canada all the way down to maybe near the Gulf Coast again. Even northern Mexico may be able to see it again too. So should be a G5 again tonight. All right. Oh, really? Okay, I did not know about that, Home. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know about that. All I know about is the northern lights. I don't really look toward the southern lights because that doesn't really affect us up here in the northern hemisphere too much. But, you know, that makes sense. Pittsburgh, probably not. I think Pittsburgh is seeing some storm activity now in and around Pittsburgh, even a severe thunderstorm warning to your south. Unless that clears out later this evening, again, your main timing for this in the Pittsburgh region would be between 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning. So if we don't have cloud cover clear out from there, I don't think we'll be able to see it. And it looks pretty cloudy in the Pittsburgh area. Most of Pennsylvania included, like State College region, over there to Harrisburg, Philadelphia, and even Scranton. You guys will all have rainy conditions and a lot of cloud cover, so probably not very good viewing there in most of the state of Pennsylvania for the northern lights tonight, but you never know. Orlando, Florida, I think Orlando, Florida should have, I would say, maybe a chance to see it. I don't know, that's pretty far south. If it's strong enough, maybe. I think that a G5 should be strong enough to reach that far south, but you never know. It varies again from day to day. Low of 70, mostly clear skies, so you should be able to see it from Orlando, Florida, if the solar storm is strong enough to reach that far south. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Yeah, Utah, we already mentioned the Salt Lake City area. Yeah, we should be able to see it there. Pretty clear skies. You're welcome, Day One. Yeah, Vancouver. We already covered Vancouver. I think Vancouver, mostly clear skies there. You should easily be able to see the northern lights in the Vancouver region. Pretty clear up there as well. Yeah, look at this, folks. We got severe warnings outside of Santa Fe and Albuquerque here in New Mexico. We got quarter-size hail and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so watch out there if you're east of Santa Fe and Albuquerque in New Mexico. Severe warnings down here in central Texas, outside of Brownwood, Texas, for golf ball size hail. So, again, if you're in Brownwood, Texas, watch out. You got some golf ball size hail 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And we also have a warning up here too, south of Pittsburgh, for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So watch out for that storm. Again, there's some severe weather going on. It is severe weather season, so make sure that you are, if you are under a warning there in the U.S. and you're watching from those areas, make sure you are indoors and away from windows. Let's see here. Cleveland, Ohio. I think the Cleveland area should be pretty good, although we may have a lot of cloud cover later in the evening. So your best opportunity there would be for potentially... Your best opportunity in the Cleveland area would be probably after midnight, because you can view it until, say, about 3 o'clock in the morning. We do have a new tornado warning real quick that just popped up. Let me look at the velocity on this. There may be a tornado developing here just south of Pittsburgh I wanted to talk about that's moving toward Clairton. This is right around the Findlay area. So if you're in Findlayville into western Pennsylvania, you probably have a tornado developing right now. So if you want to take shelter, you probably should. You need to take shelter there in Findlayville, West Elizabeth, Jefferson Hills, Clairton, Coulter, Buena Vista, and also the Collinsburg and West Newton area there into western Pennsylvania. There is a tornado warning with a very tight couplet there, potentially of a tornado developing rather soon. So again, make sure to take shelter there now. Yeah, Manchester, United Kingdom, you guys should be able to see the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights there in the United Kingdom, as long as you have clear skies up there. They won't be all night. They'll be from 10 p.m. The best viewing is from 10 p.m. late evening into the mid-overnight hours, so like before sunrise through about 3 o'clock in the morning. So 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning is the best chance to view the northern lights, for anybody who's wondering about that. It should be. Virginia should see some northern lights, but again, I think a lot of the best viewing there in Virginia is west of Roanoke. So if you're east of Roanoke toward Harrisonburg, Richmond, or Virginia Beach, especially pretty cloudy over there in Virginia Beach and Richmond tonight. So probably not seeing very good viewing over there in those areas. Will Shreveport, Louisiana see it? Thanks. Yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana should be able to see the, let me look at the weather there, the cloud cover forecast for Shreveport, Louisiana there. That's in northwest Louisiana. And, looks pretty cloudy there. So yes, you probably would be able to view it if there wasn't a lot of clouds, if that makes sense. So yeah, probably pretty cloudy there. Probably not seeing good viewing for the northern lights there. Yeah, other countries will be able to see it. Not just Canada, the U.S., and Mexico, like the United Kingdom and England and all that stuff over in the Middle East. You guys should be able to see some of the northern lights over there as well. So not only it's just the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, it's like the United Kingdom and other countries as well that should be able to see the northern lights tonight. Yes, folks, we are 11 subscribers out from 91,800. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. Another weather forecast video to be posted tomorrow. Washington, D.C. is going to be very cloudy. Probably not going to see it tonight. We have cloudy skies across the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area, much of Delaware and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and all the way up to New York City and Bridgeport. You guys will all be very cloudy tonight. So the I-95 corridor tonight going to be very cloudy. Probably not going to be seeing a lot of that good viewing tonight at all. Now we're 5 away. 5 away from 91,800. Will West Texas be able to see it? No, West Texas will not, unfortunately, because there is a lot of cloud cover, because we have severe weather going on around the Santa Fe, Albuquerque area, New Mexico, and down here into central Texas near Brownwood, south and east of Abilene. All of that is going to lead to cloud cover in West Texas, unless you live in the El Paso region and over here toward Pecos, Fort Stockton, and Alpine into the far western Texas region. then you may be able to clear skies out towards the desert areas of West Texas. But if you're in like West Texas, like Amarillo, Lubbock, or Midland, you guys are not going to see it. Likely to see cloudy skies there the rest of the night. Houston, Texas should be able to see it pending cloud cover. Let's look here at the weather forecast for the Houston region real quick. I think Houston, Texas is... let's see here. Cloudy skies. So unfortunately, yeah, Houston, probably Austin and San Antonio as well. Seeing some pretty cloudy skies over here. So unfortunately, the Houston metro area is not going to be able to see it. They should not see it tonight at all because of the clouds there. Yeah, you're welcome. Kansas City, Missouri. Yes, you will be able to see it. There should be mostly clear skies into that region, and we should be pretty good there. Let's see. Kimberly's asking about McKinney, Texas. No, McKinney, Texas will not be able to see it. McKinney is going to be pretty cloudy tonight. A lot of cloud cover from all those ongoing storms and rain showers in there in Texas right now. If we bring up the radar there, the radar site in the DFW area right now, there's a lot of showers to your west. Those showers and even a severe thunderstorm producing some golf ball size hail there near Brownwood, south and west of the DFW Metroplex. That is going to lead to a lot of cloud cover there for McKinney. And I think the McKinney area is going to be mostly cloudy tonight. So, yeah, mostly cloudy skies, even a 20 to 30% chance of a thunderstorm there. So I think the McKinney area is going to be pretty cloudy for tonight. So, unfortunately, no good viewing there either. I'm not sure what you mean. How about the Finger Lakes region? Where's the Finger Lakes at? Are we talking about... I'm not very familiar with that region. Is that up into Minnesota? If we're talking about Minnesota, the Finger Lakes all the way, if that's what you're talking about, I'm not exactly too sure about what you mean by that. But if you're living up here in the northern and northeast Minnesota, you can see a lot of cloud cover. We actually have a lot of showers ongoing up here into around northeastern Minnesota near Eli, but other than that, it's we're doing all right. So Cincinnati, Brian, yes, Cincinnati should be able to see it. You have high pressure working in tonight, so high pressure is going to lead to a lot of clear weather. So Cincinnati, your best viewing outside of the city there will be between 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning. 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning for the Cincinnati region. And again, that's all across the U.S. It's your local time between 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow, folks, thanks for subscribing. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We are, again, we're 98 subscribers away from 91,900. So our stream goal today is 92,000. If you have not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like button down below. I appreciate it. That's the thumbs up button as well. You're welcome, Brian. Thanks for joining. Vancouver, same thing, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. local time for you. So for the Vancouver area, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. local time. Northern Virginia, probably not. We're going to see a lot of cloud cover up here. So like Harrisonburg, all the way over into Fredericksburg and Staunton, Waynesboro, Charlottesville. You guys are all going to be pretty cloudy tonight. We have a lot of rain shower activity and thunderstorms. We actually have a line of showers and storms moving through Baltimore, or about to move into Baltimore, Washington, D.C., down here to Fredericksburg. And then we have more cloud cover behind that as well. And more shower and storms back there in eastern West Virginia. So that's going to lead to a lot of cloud cover for tonight. So not good viewing there in northern Virginia. It's mainly western Virginia. Back here west of Roanoke, that's your best bet to see any of that is toward Galax, Lebanon, Wise, Gate City, or Radford, or even the, what city was that? The Richlands area into western Virginia. The Hammers family, what time in Middle Tennessee? We're looking at between 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning. So late evening into the after midnight time frame for a couple hours. So 10 p.m. this evening to 3 a.m. in the morning local time for your area there. Los Angeles should be able to see it. Los Angeles is, I don't know what the cloud cover forecast exactly is for Los Angeles. I'll look here real quick. But if it is strong enough, you may be able to see it tonight there. The Los Angeles region, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. So you have a 50-50 flip of a coin type of thing there to see the northern lights there in Los Angeles tonight. Where's the best place outside of Chicago to see it? I would say the best place outside of Chicago, you have two areas here. So if you're traveling south out of Chicago, I would say go towards Kankakee. I would say go over here towards Moni, Piatone, or Mantino, or even toward Beecher over here. So again, if you're going south out of Chicago, I would go on 57 towards Moni, Piatone, or Mantino, or over here toward Beecher, Illinois. Or if you're going west out of Chicago, I would go down here all the way. It's a little bit further of a drive, but over here towards Sandwich, Millington, or even to the Caneville area, so the Maple Park or Caneville area there on I-88 would probably be your best bet out of Chicago. Chicago is difficult. There's a lot of city lights here, a lot of big suburbs. I mean, you got Algonquin, Schaumburg, Evanston, Aurora, Naperville, Joliet. You have Aurora. I said Aurora already. Chicago Heights. You got Waukegan. You got a lot of big cities here, Elgin. So, there's just a lot of driving you have to do to get outside of the city there, Chicago. Syracuse, New York. We haven't talked about that yet. Let's answer that. Syracuse, New York. So the Syracuse region, yeah, pretty cloudy and actually rainy over there. You actually do have a 70% chance of showers and storms tonight, so probably not looking at a good viewing there for the Syracuse, New York region. So unfortunately, no good viewing there. So much of New York State, probably not good viewing. A lot of the Northeast, not good viewing unless you're way up there near Caribou, Maine. If you're up in the Caribou, Maine region, maybe a little bit better viewing. San Diego. You should be able to see it in San Diego. It's again, San Diego pretty far south, so it depends on how strong the geomagnetic storm is. It should be strong enough to reach that far south. Unfortunately, though, for San Diego, partly cloudy this evening will turn cloudy after midnight. So, as the prime viewing will be 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning, probably not seeing very good viewing over there in that region. But we'll keep a close eye on that. I don't really see good viewing there for San Diego. How about Ireland? I don't have any weather data for Ireland, so I can't tell you. The only thing I can say for Ireland is, if it's clear outside, if the skies are clear, then you should be able to see it if you look north in Ireland. Other than that, I don't have any weather data for that, so unfortunately, I'm sorry I can't give you a forecast for Ireland right now. Des Moines, Iowa, yeah, clear as a bell there. We have completely clear sky, 100% clear skies there in the Ankeny, Iowa region, Des Moines, Ames, Marshalltown, all of central Iowa there. Most of the state of Iowa is actually pretty clear tonight, so you're pretty good. Most of the state of Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, at least western Ohio, Michigan, lower Michigan that is, and Kentucky. You guys should all be able to view it pretty easily tonight. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Yeah, La Crosse, you're clear tonight. You should be able to see it easily. If you're in La Crosse, I would go east towards Tomah, or actually, that's pretty far, but I would say the Bangor, Wisconsin region, or Sparta, or go southeast towards the Cashton area, or maybe cross over the Mississippi River towards, say, the St. Charles region on 90 there, toward Lewiston, Minnesota. That's your best bet to probably look at the lights. Again, you don't want to be in La Crosse because you'll probably have a lot of those city lights. You won't be able to see the northern lights there, so unless you get outside of town. Raymond, Illinois. Yep, like I said, Illinois. You're going to see a lot of clear skies, so I'm not too worried about Illinois. Everywhere from Rockford all the way down to Carbondale, from Quincy all the way to Champaign-Urbana, and everywhere in between. Peoria, Bloomington Normal, Springfield, Galesburg, Joliet, Chicago. You guys should all have clear viewing. Dubuque, Iowa, Galena, Illinois, Platteville, Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, Richland Center, Boscobel. You guys should all have clear viewing. Madison, Milwaukee, you guys should all have clear viewing tonight. Louisville, Kentucky, you guys have some pretty good clearing. I think mostly clear skies, actually about as clear as you can get, maybe about 0 to 5% cloud cover, so you should be able to see it. You want to get out of the city of Louisville, probably head up toward LaGrange there on 71. Head north on 65 towards Sellersburg or Vienna, or head north and west toward Georgetown and take an exit there, because otherwise you're not going to be able to see it there with the city lights in the Louisville region. But yes, Louisville area will be clear tonight. Make sure to bring a jacket, though. It may be a little bit chilly out there, but other than that, it should be pretty good. Massachusetts, too cloudy. Yep, Massachusetts, too cloudy. We already went over that a few times. Yep, the Hoopeston, Illinois region is going to be pretty clear as well tonight, so not too many problems there. Actually, I think that's a pretty rural area, pretty rural village in Illinois. So the Hoopeston, Illinois region should be good clearing for the Northern Lights tonight. Muskegon, Michigan. Yep, Muskegon is going to be pretty clear there as well, especially near the shoreline there of Lake Michigan. Hey folks, if you are not, I answered several questions. Take a second again to say that we are 151 subscribers, just 151 subscribers away from 92,000. If you help me get there today, I appreciate that. Again, that would leave me only 8,000 away from 100,000 if we get to 92,000 on the stream today, so I appreciate it. We're going to be doing additional live streams for severe weather this season, breaking down weather patterns, stuff like that. New weather forecast video on this channel comes out tomorrow, so make sure you are here for that. And again, make sure you are subscribed to my channel for that. Sorry, Aaron Hernandez, I didn't see your question. Let me scroll up and see if I could find it. Otherwise, ask it again. Okay, I see your question. Pennsylvania, West Virginia border. So the Pennsylvania, West Virginia border, I think pretty cloudy tonight. Like if you're talking about like the Morgantown area, so let's look at Morgantown just as kind of a general guide for the West Virginia, Pennsylvania border. Gives you a pretty good idea. Morgantown, West Virginia area, for example, we're seeing cloudy skies and some showers. I don't think we're going to see very many breaks in the clouds tonight. So unfortunately, I think we're looking at poor viewing there into the Morgantown region. And even if it's not Morgantown, if it's up toward Wheeling or over here into, say, Mannington or Pine Grove there, Moundsville, you guys are all going to be, we're mainly just looking at cloudy skies and a chance of some showers tonight. So the viewing and the visibility is going to be pretty poor for the Northern Lights in those areas. Jacksonville, Arkansas. So Jacksonville, Arkansas, we're looking at, I don't know. Let me see here. Let me see where Jacksonville, Arkansas is. I think it's a bigger city here, but again, I'm from Northern Illinois, so I have no clue where some of these cities are. So Jacksonville, Arkansas. Cloud cover forecast for your area. Probably not good viewing, mostly cloudy, about 75% cloud cover for your area. So pretty cloudy for your area there. I'm not really seeing good viewing there in Jacksonville, Arkansas. Again, most of the state of Arkansas is pretty iffy. So that's what we're seeing for that. Let's see here. Southern Middle Tennessee. So Tennessee, you're going to have a very good chance of seeing, you're going to have a very good chance of seeing the northern lights there in most of the state of Tennessee, from Shelbyville over to Tullahoma, Winchester, Chattanooga, all those areas there, Nashville, Murfreesboro, all the way to Knoxville. So basically in Tennessee, from Memphis to Jackson to Clarksville to Nashville to Knoxville, all the vills, to Chattanooga, all the way up to Johnson City, everywhere in between, you guys, basically what I'm saying is the entire state of Tennessee, you should be good. The only thing is, like I said before, if you have been here or you maybe have not been here, the Memphis area closer to the Mississippi River, into western Tennessee, maybe up toward Jackson, Tennessee as well, and Union City, into far western Tennessee, like Dyersburg as well, into western Tennessee, or even the McKenzie, Tennessee region, Paris, Tennessee. You guys over here in western parts of the state may have more partly cloudy skies, so like maybe 40 to 50% coverage of clouds at times, especially earlier on this evening. But prime viewing local time is 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., so may still be good there. Hayesville, North Carolina. Let's look at the Hayesville, North Carolina region. Well, I can't believe I've been live for 3 hours and 10 minutes almost at this point. A few showers early and then clear overnight, so you may have a good chance, depending on how fast cloud cover moves out of your area there in Hayesville, North Carolina. Pretty chilly, though. Make sure you bring a jacket, especially if you want to view the northern lights potentially from outside your vehicle, because it's going to be pretty brisk out there. Lows in the lower 40s at 42, 43 degrees, so pretty chilly there. Austin, Texas, pretty cloudy down in Austin, actually. A lot of thunderstorm activity in and around the Austin, Texas region right now with some severe weather to your north. So that will actually lead to a lot of cloud cover for the Austin, Texas region, unfortunately. Wow, folks, we are only 44 subscribers away from 91,900. Wow, we're only 144 away from 92,000. So again, only 144 more people to subscribe to this channel. We'll be right at 92,000. So thank you. We're almost to the stream goal, folks. I appreciate your help. And again, as this channel grows, we're going to be starting to do more bigger things on this channel. We're going to be upgrading some of our equipment, some of our, my microphone and stuff like that. So making our live streams better, making my videos better and stuff like that. So I appreciate your help. Yeah, northern Oklahoma, we're looking mainly at the Bartlesville area over here to I would say northeast Oklahoma. So from Ponca City, really kind of east of I-35. So Ponca City to Hominy to Bartlesville, Claremore, and Tulsa, maybe the Stillwater area, and then up there toward Miami, and then Muskogee over here into northeastern Oklahoma will be your best bet to view the northern lights. If you're in western Oklahoma, like west of I-35 toward Woodward, Elk City, El Reno, Enid, and then especially the Oklahoma Panhandle over here towards the Boise City area, Beaver, or Laverne, you guys are probably going to see more rainfall and even just some cloud cover as we go deeper into the night tonight. So probably not good viewing there in the Panhandle of Oklahoma. The best viewing in Oklahoma will be either the very far northern part of the state or northeast there part of the state, north and east of Tulsa especially. Any chance in Illinois? Yeah, Illinois, the entire state, you're going to be good. You should be able to see the northern lights there across most of the entire state there of Illinois. Wow, we're almost there. Look at that, folks. 22 now. We're only 22 subscribers from 91,200 or 91,900. We're getting close. I appreciate it. Thanks to all the new subscribers out there. Thank you, Jose. Hello, new here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you covered on the latest weather forecast for your area there. Thank you for joining. All right. Lexington, South Carolina. So let's look here at Lexington, South Carolina. Again, we're probably going to be on until we hit our stream goal of 92,000 subscribers. Once we do that, I think we're going to wrap it up. I've been live here for almost 3.5 hours, so my voice is actually kind of hurting a little bit right now. But I will continue to answer questions until then. And I'll answer questions even after the live stream is over. I appreciate everybody joining again. We'll keep answering questions here for the next little bit. And then even after the live stream's over, we'll answer more questions as well. So we're looking at Lexington, South Carolina here. Looks pretty clear there. So mid-50s, clear skies, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the west. You guys should have some very good viewing there in Lexington, South Carolina tonight. It should be strong enough to reach that far south, so we should be able to see the northern lights from there, from that region. That's for sure. So hopefully you're able to see that from Lexington, South Carolina. Let's see here. Kentucky, yeah, Kentucky should be able to see it, especially around the Louisville region. You just want to be outside of city lights there. So like the Louisville area and Lexington and Richmond, Hopkinsville, Bowling Green, you guys should all be able to see the northern lights in those areas. That's for sure. I don't see why not. It should be pretty clear across those areas. High pressure is working in right now across that area. So I would expect it to be pretty good viewing there into much of Kentucky. Thank you for subscribing, Liam. I'm new. I was going to see it in California. Yeah, you should be able to see it in California. The Santa Cruz area. Let me see Santa Cruz. I'm not sure about Santa Cruz, California, but I think some of California should be able to see the northern lights. Let's see. The Santa Cruz area we're looking at mainly. It says areas of fog. So if it's foggy there in Santa Cruz, then we might not be able to see the northern lights that well. But it depends on how thick the fog is. I think, honestly, if it's ground fog, you're probably not going to see it, especially because it's a lot more dense near the ground. But I think, honestly, there's a chance you could see it if the fog is not as thick. So it's definitely hard to say. Again, it's a 50-50. It's a toss of a coin at this point for that area. Yeah, like I said, California, it just depends on if there's fog. There's a few clouds across California. California is a pretty long state from north to south, kind of like Illinois. So it's possible that much of California has different weather from like Sacramento down to Los Angeles. So it's kind of variable there, but you should be able to view it in California for the most part, assuming that you have clearer conditions there. Massachusetts is going to be very cloudy, so unfortunately not going to see a lot of the northern lights there tonight. North Carolina, if you're in western North Carolina there, west of Interstate 77, you should probably have the best chance to see it toward Asheville, especially in North Carolina. That's your best opportunity to see the northern lights. Wow, we're almost there. 95 more people, folks. We'll be at 92,000. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so down below. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland's going to see pretty clear conditions. Partly cloudy early in the evening, clearing off later in that night. So viewing maybe during the evening hours may be a little bit worse. I think viewing after midnight, because it goes till 3 a.m. So it's 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. I think the viewing after midnight between the 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. time frame will probably be the best there for the Cleveland area especially. Yeah, sorry, again, I don't know about Ireland or anything like that because I don't have any weather data for Ireland. So unfortunately, again, I cannot speak on that. But I will say, again, if there's clear skies in Ireland and you're able to see it, you should be able to. So again, I don't have any weather data. I'm sorry about that for Ireland. But there are other countries that are likely to see it. So like Canada, Mexico, possibly like northern Mexico, the U.S., and parts of like the UK and England over there in the Middle East, they should be able to see it as well. So Long Island, I'm pretty sure Long Island's going to be pretty cloudy tonight up there near New York City. So unfortunately, Long Island's going to be too cloudy. Won't be able to see a lot of the northern lights there. So pretty cloudy there in Long Island, unfortunately. A lot of rain shower activity. Northeast Tennessee, Tony, yeah, A-okay. And Milwaukee as well, same thing, Wade. We're looking at pretty good conditions there in the Milwaukee region for viewing the northern lights as well. Is it going to rain in Abilene today? I don't know. Let's look. Let's look at what the radar shows there in Abilene. It's raining. It's probably going to. It looks like there's a nice thunderstorm, or at least a heavy shower to your west. Yeah, Abilene, it's going to start raining very soon here, so probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Looks like a shower is coming into Ty, Texas right now. So Abilene, Texas is going to get a shower or a thunderstorm. No severe weather right now with that storm. There is a severe thunderstorm south and east of Brownwood, though, producing half-dollar size hail. That is actually moving right towards the Hamilton and Gatesville, Texas region. So watch out there in central Texas, south of DFW for that hailstorm. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody from North Dakota or the Dakotas ever really asked about anything today. So let's see here. Williston, North Dakota. So let's look here at the Williston area. So looking at Williston, North Dakota, the viewing here is partly cloudy. So again, a flip of a coin up to the north. There's going to be a mix of clouds and stars tonight. So I think that up into the Williston area, same thing with Minot, the Bismarck and Fargo, and even the Grand Forks region, might be some partly cloudy skies. So there might be some cloud cover that's kind of blocking some of the northern lights, but the best time to see it in Detroit, 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, it's local time for everybody in the U.S. So 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning, local time to your area, to your time zone. So for your time zone, for everybody, it's 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So East Coast, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. 3 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. 3 a.m. And the West Coast is 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Everybody's the same. The eastern shore of Virginia. The eastern shore of Virginia, like Virginia Beach, is that the area you're talking about? Yeah, Virginia Beach in Chesapeake area. We're not going to see the northern lights more than likely because of the cloud cover. So that's what we're seeing down there. So like the Virginia Beach area, probably not. Let's see here. Northern North Carolina. Yeah, northern North Carolina is tricky. I think up toward Greensboro we could, Durham, and then over here towards Cary we could as well. Again, we're almost at our stream goal, folks. So again, after we hit our stream goal, I'm going to be wrapping up the live stream. We're only 75 subscribers away from our stream goal at 92,000. So if you want to help me get there, then you guys can help me eat dinner because I'm getting hungry. So if we can get 75 more people to subscribe to the channel, we can wrap the live stream up. Again, I'll continue to answer questions even after the live's over. Again, I've been live for 3 hours and 21 minutes. So my voice is hurting a little bit. So if you guys want to help me out and subscribe to this channel, help me get to the stream goal here quicker so I can go eat and get ready for my weather forecast video tomorrow that I'll post for you folks, then that'll be good. Not that I don't want to answer your questions, I do, but we've been here for 3.5 hours. My voice is just getting a little tired. I haven't even had a sip of water yet because I've been talking relentlessly for 3.5 hours at this point, pretty much. So Austin, Texas. Yeah, the Austin area is going to be pretty cloudy tonight. I don't really foresee any, we're not really going to see any, the northern lights there in the Austin region. And same thing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're actually seeing showers and storms moving in, so it's kind of few and far between there. I think the best area to see it in Texas is maybe Houston or Beaumont. Other than that, I think we're still probably pretty cloudy down in the Houston region. So most of Texas, we're really not going to be able to see the northern lights. Yeah, Ohio, Western Ohio, Jacob, is probably where the best viewing will be for that. Central California, the Central California region over here into Fresno. Let's look at the Fresno region for the weather here. I think Fresno may have some cloud cover. So if we're talking about like Central California, we'll look at Fresno and then we'll look at Bakersfield. So clear skies there in Fresno, and then Bakersfield, California, we're looking at mainly the same thing. So pretty clear skies over there in Central California. There should be pretty good viewing there as we go through the night. Oh man, 59 more people. We need 59 more subscribers to hit our goal. Once we hit our goal again, I'll end the live stream and wrap it up, and we'll get ready for my video tomorrow. My videos come out between 8 o'clock and 10 a.m. in the morning, every morning that I do them. Again, I do videos 98% of the year. I barely take any days off on this channel, so again, make sure to subscribe. We'll keep you covered on that. Make sure all notifications are turned on when you do subscribe. Click that bell icon down below, folks, if you haven't already. Maryland is going to be pretty cloudy. I mean, there's not going to be very good viewing there in the Maryland region at all. I think it's going to be pretty cloudy over here. We're already having showers moving into like the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. So that's what we're seeing there into Maryland. So pretty cloudy there as well. Atlanta, the Atlanta area, pretty clear. Again, it just depends on how far south it's pretty strong geomagnetic storm. It's a G5, so it's about as strong as it gets. So I would say Atlanta would be in play to see the northern lights. So make sure, again, if you have the opportunity to go see them outside the Atlanta metro area, that you go do that. Yeah, Nashville, pretty clear. So, like I said, Nashville and most, like 99% of the state of Tennessee should be able to view the northern lights, except for like over here, maybe toward Memphis. There may be a few more clouds toward Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee, and Union City. Those areas near the Mississippi River and far western Tennessee may see more cloud cover. So, it may be a little tough to view the northern lights from there. To the edge of the city limits of Nashville, I would go out of Nashville completely, out of the city circle. So I would talk about, like, if you're in West Nashville, I would go toward Dixon. Take I-40 and then take an exit toward Dixon, look north. If you're in North Nashville, I would go up toward Gallatin. Take, 31 East or 65 North maybe toward Walnut Grove or Cross Plains. If you're in East Nashville, go toward Lebanon or toward Watertown on 40 there toward the east. Take an exit. Or if you're in Southeast Nashville, go toward Smyrna or Murfreesboro. But you don't want to be in Murfreesboro. You want to be outside of any city lights, even if it's a small town, to view the northern lights. So... And honestly, if you're going south of Nashville and you're looking north, you're probably looking at the city lights of Nashville. So your best bet if you're in Nashville would be to go north. So I would say go up here towards, honestly, Walnut Grove, Cross Plains, or toward Gallatin. That's probably your best bet, or even Springfield up here into northwest Tennessee. That would be your best bet, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, like I said, Georgia is pretty clear, especially northern Georgia. Will we see the lights in Pittsburgh? Probably not. Pittsburgh's going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight. There's actually some severe weather that just moved past the Pittsburgh region. We did have a tornado warning for a while. There's actually some showers and storms moving, especially to your east. Into Ohio, there's some showers that are lingering there in far eastern Ohio, but I think most of the shower activity is winding down, but there still could be some lingering cloud cover around Pittsburgh through late tonight, so we'll keep a close eye on that. We are 46 away, folks. 46 subscribers away from me eating food. That's how I feel right now. So, let's see here. We've been live for 3 hours and 28 minutes on the dot, folks. Just for you folks. Julia from Freeport, Illinois. Not too far away. I'm in Northern Illinois as well. Freeport, Illinois, absolutely brilliant conditions to view the northern lights in Freeport, west of Rockford there. Yeah, if you're in Stevenson County there, make sure I would go outside of Freeport. So areas outside of Freeport here, I would go toward Pecatonica or Lena to watch it, or even to the north towards Cedarville to watch it. And look north from Cedarville outside of Freeport there. Pretty good, pretty prime viewing between 10 p.m. this evening and 3 o'clock in the morning. Georgia, same thing. It's all the time zones, folks. It's 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning for your local time. To see the best viewing there, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Local time. Florence, Alabama. I think Florence, Alabama is, should be good. So Florence, Alabama, we're looking at partly cloudy skies there into the Florence region. So that's what we're seeing in the Florence, Alabama region for clouds. So it looks like kind of a flip of a coin there from Florence, Alabama to Huntsville and Decatur and Athens. Over there to New Hope, Scottsboro, and Albertville, and Fort Payne. Those areas in northern Alabama have a chance to see it. It should be strong enough to reach that far south. Yeah, Texas is going to be pretty cloudy. I'm not expecting you to be able to see the northern lights really in Texas much, unfortunately. Springfield, Illinois, yes, brilliant conditions up there in this capital of Illinois, the land of Lincoln. I think there's going to be a lot of clearing there. So the land of Lincoln there, Springfield, over to Decatur, I think those areas, Peoria, Bloomington Normal, Champaign-Urbana, St. Louis, pretty clear skies over there. So you just want to go outside of the city of Springfield. For Springfield, I would say go to the north towards Petersburg, or towards Athens and see the northern lights over there to the north and west of Springfield. Just go outside of the city lights and go up there towards those areas. All right. See here. You guys just don't want me to eat, do you? 28 more subscribers, folks, and we'll wrap this live up. Thank you so much for everybody, though. I appreciate it, even though I nag you about subscribing. We're just on the road to 100,000, so let's see here. What about in Nebraska? I think Nebraska, your best chance there in Nebraska is eastern Nebraska. Because right now, if you see, like if I put the radar on here, there's a couple, sorry, this is the one I want. There's a couple showers there in western Nebraska, but there's going to be a couple more showers that develop into the panhandle of Nebraska possibly later on. That could lead to some cloud cover there, and that could lead to not good viewing conditions for especially portions of central and western Nebraska. So if you're in eastern Nebraska, your best chance is to go into western Iowa to see it, to be honest. Otherwise, you're seeing, partly cloudy skies. You go into western Nebraska, especially the further you get towards the panhandle of Nebraska, we're talking more cloud cover there with some showers possible. You're welcome, Jacob. No worries, Todd. No worries. Thanks for joining. How about southern Missouri? Can we see the northern lights? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, southern Missouri, great conditions to view the northern lights. Maybe a few clouds there, but I think from Joplin to Springfield up to Jefferson City and Sedalia to Columbia and all the way over to Cape Girardeau there in southeastern Missouri should have brilliant conditions tonight. Pretty clear skies to see the northern lights tonight over there. So that's what we're seeing. West Virginia, I think West Virginia, your best chance is Charleston on west. I think if you're closer to Ohio or Kentucky in West Virginia, your best bet. If you're in the Panhandle region like Romney or up here toward Morgantown, it's going to be pretty cloudy. So that's what we're seeing there for West Virginia. Yeah, Iowa, Lee, Iowa included. I think the Lee, Iowa region will have, again, brilliant conditions for watching the Northern Lights tonight. I think we'll have great conditions there as well. Again, the entire state of Iowa. Thanks for the coverage for such a large area, including parts of the world. I'll be out looking at the sky tonight. New subscriber from Central California. Thank you so much, Norman. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for answering all of us. It's not exhausting. I'm not exhausted by answering questions. I'm just hungry. I haven't ate since lunchtime, and I live in Central Time. It's 6 o'clock here. It's 6:01 now, and I haven't ate since like 1 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm pretty hungry. And, our stream goal is 92,000. We're, again, only 16 subscribers out from that. And once we hit it, I think we'll end the live stream, wrap it up, and I'll keep answering more questions while I'm eating and getting my video forecast ready for you tomorrow. We'll do a video forecast for you folks. Post it between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. tomorrow, Central Daylight Time. That's when my videos are posted, between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. North Carolina, again, I think North Carolina, the further west you go. So if you're west of I-77, so west of I-77 toward Hickory, Asheville, and Franklin, that's your best bet to see the northern lights. If you're further east toward the coast, a lot more cloud cover there toward Jacksonville, Wilmington, and Greenville, and Charlotte, and possibly even Greensboro. A lot of cloud cover there as well. It's not scary. All it is it's just a G5. It's a geomagnetic storm. What happens is, like, at the surface of the sun, it's called a solar flare, and the stronger it is, it basically pushes energy from the surface of the sun towards Earth. And basically what it does is just, it's energy from the sun. So, like, what it does is it gives just an aurora borealis. It's just like another word for, like, the northern lights. And it's just an energy field from the sun that's pushed toward Earth, and that's all it is. Sometimes it can get strong enough to interrupt some communications for a brief period of time on Earth. It's nothing scary. It doesn't do anything to us. It's harmless. It's not going to do anything, so don't worry about it. It's just cool to see the northern lights. All we are doing here on the live stream today is just answering questions about your viewing conditions of the northern lights. We're not on here to scare anybody. There's nothing to be scared about. Trust me. This is nothing to be scared about. I promise you that. We are not on here to scare anybody. My channel has never been about scaring anybody or fear-mongering or anything. It's all about facts, accuracy, and reliability on this channel. I promise you that. It'll always be that way. I'll always put my viewers first. I promise. Illinois is good. Yeah, Illinois is good. Yep, absolutely. Richmond, Virginia. I think the Richmond area, I'll look officially, but I think Richmond, Virginia sees a lot of cloud cover tonight. I think we looked at this earlier on in the stream, but I honestly don't remember what the cloud cover forecast is there, so I'll look again. So the Richmond, Virginia area, we are looking at clearing overnight. So probably after midnight, but there's going to be a lot of rain early. And there's a helicopter going over my house right now, so disregard that. That's what the loud sound is, if you can hear it. But so basically, yeah, Richmond, Virginia, we're looking at rain early, and then we're going to see clearing late. So there could be some power outages with this if it's strong enough, but I don't think it's going to be widespread. It's going to be here or there, and maybe not anybody's affected possibly at all. I mean, this is going to be, it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's just going to be the northern lights, and it'll be all right. Nothing to worry about. The Memphis area, we're looking at partly cloudy skies for the most part. Partly cloudy skies tonight in Memphis. The further east you go from Memphis toward Jackson, Tennessee, and then closer towards Lawrenceburg and Dixon, Tennessee, those areas will have less cloud cover. So towards Middle Tennessee is your best bet to watch the northern lights tonight. But you could probably still see them from Memphis as well. Just partly cloudy. It just depends on how thick the cloud cover is, but it shouldn't be too bad. Just partly cloudy. A few passing clouds from time to time. Springfield, Missouri, pretty clear there as well. You don't have to worry about it. Pretty clear there in Springfield, Missouri as well. Let's see. Lubbock, Texas. I can look real quick. I don't know about Lubbock. I think Lubbock, Texas has a lot of cloud cover, but I can look real quick. So the Lubbock area, yeah, we're seeing a lot of thunderstorms. Actually, you have a 70% chance of thunderstorms after midnight, so you're likely not going to see it tonight, unfortunately. So if you're hoping to see it in Amarillo, Lubbock, or Midland, you have a pretty good chance of thunderstorms tonight. So unfortunately, that is not looking likely to see the northern lights there. Timing. The timing is between 10 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's the general timing to look for the northern lights anywhere across the U.S. there. So 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. How's Galion, Ohio? Ohio's pretty good, especially if you're in western Ohio or southwestern Ohio. But if you're over there toward Akron, Cleveland, you may have some cloud cover. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm reading something here. So yeah, it is, again, it is a G5. It's an extreme event. So Ontario should see it. Ontario, Canada should see it, especially if you're in northern Ontario, Canada. That's the area that's more likely to see it. So, okay, so I saw a question in the live stream about how long will this last? It's 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., but if you're asking like how many days, it happened last night. It's happening again tonight. Tonight, I think, is the peak. And then tomorrow on Sunday for Mother's Day, it looks like it's going to be back down at a minor to maybe a moderate level. So that's what we're looking at for that. All right. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ben, for being very supportive of the channel. Yeah, in north central Ohio, yeah, we're seeing mainly clear skies there later on tonight. So you should be able to see that, especially after midnight. So, all right, folks, we did hit 92,000. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Again, make sure you are a subscriber here to this channel. We're going to be doing another live stream for severe weather coming up very soon. As soon as we get more, more big severe weather events this season, we'll be doing daily weather forecast videos on this channel. Another forecast video comes out tomorrow between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, so you don't want to miss that. Make sure, as you are subscribed to my channel, that you do have the post notifications, the notification bell turned on, and so you get more live streams like this. Severe weather live streams. We do winter weather and hurricane live streams as well. So make sure you do get that. Again, subscribe to my second channel if you haven't already, if you live in the north central U.S. If you live in the northern plains, central plains, upper Midwest, Midwest, Great Lakes, or Ohio Valley, that is North Central Weather Center. That's my second channel. Those videos are posted on the second channel Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and the weekends if needed. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and weekend out there. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. And hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. Thanks for sticking with me. We were live for almost 4 hours. So thank you for spending your late afternoon with me here. And I appreciate everybody asking about their cities and everything. If you have any more questions after the live stream is over, I will answer those questions right after the live stream as well. So if you have any questions about your city, I can give you what your clearing looks like for your area for tonight. Otherwise, thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there, everybody, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. All right. Good night, everyone.